one cuss word.
Hello, and welcome to the Saladcast on Sunday, the 27th of July, 2025. I'm your host, Dan Train. Joining me today, Zachary Burgess.
Woo.
And Robert Kemp.
What the cuss?
Woo.
The woo is how you know that it's not actually that hot, somehow.
It's
I mean,
acceptable.
it's going to get reasonably hot in here during the process of this podcast, because it always does.
Still we've still got a window open, so there's still the potential for various vehicular noises.
But it hasn't been very much summer this whole week, really.
It's still been pretty warm.
It's been warm, but it hasn't been like summer. It's been like
it's been
grey and or sometimes raining even.
It's almost worse because it's like, well, okay, the rainy stuff was fine, but it's like the air has still been thick and horrid, so it's like actually doing stuff has still been kind of bleh.
Just don't do stuff.
I mean, I would like that. One aspires to that. But
do you want to be lazing in a situation where you could be working, or do you want to be lazing because the thickness of the air is forcing you to laze?
Yeah, I know. So that's the ability to laze when you're not supposed to be lazing. That's a drug.
You're saying that's definitely better.
Oh,
right?
yeah. I mean, it's way more satisfying. It's like, I suppose that's true of like most jobs in fairness. It's like, I'm on the clock, but I ain't doing nothing.
Does that make you feel worried, anxious? I don't know.
None of it's company approved in some form.
Yeah, fair.
Fairness, I do feel a little bit like I don't know. I wouldn't say I feel guilty. That's not the right phrase, but it's like it is a little bit satisfying sometimes where you set something off and it's like, well, this build is going to take like 10 odd minutes. That's 10 minutes so I can get a coffee or something.
The classic XKCD of where they're, sword fighting on the swivel chairs in this corridor because the code's compiling. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little bit like that sometimes.
Now it's going to be set off your AI agent and go and have a coffee and then come back and it's done.
Set off a research task. Well, except that happens in parallel, right? It doesn't actually use up your system resources like a local build does.
So you could be working on other things, it's true.
You need to convince your company that they need to run their AI model internally, so it will take up your system resources.
Yeah. Local models only. For security
privacy
or something. Yeah.
It's important.
So I can have a coffee while it's working.
Does that mean everyone gets RTX cards to run it on?
Probably.
And then you can buy them cheap from the company for your home use.
I definitely need one of these. Uh-huh.
That's not going to make your office any cooler.
No, it isn't. Computers run hot, yo. I don't know if you've heard. They run pretty hot.
I've definitely heard, because I still haven't bothered to go into my stupid control panel thing for the motherboard and turn off the temperature alert that I set up.
Oh,
that
right.
You can only turn on and off if you don't have Windows memory protection turned on. But then once you've set it up, apparently it remembers that even if you can't access that menu any longer, so I still get the pop-ups.
Oh, that's so weird.
Yep, it's very weird.
Just don't use what is it, gigabytes?
Control panel thing.
Yeah.
But that's the only place that I
software
can
to
get temperatures.
Can't
Not
you-
even many temperatures, it's only like the CPU temperature and that's it.
Oh, right, I see. You want the other... There must be ways to access those other you through a third-party tool, so you don't have to use gigabytes.
Well, Gigabyte kind of is a first-party tool, except it's actually technically a first-party tool because it's the motherboard.
Kinda. That stuff must be accessible.
You would think. You would think at this point Windows should just look at it as well.
Well, yeah. That is true. You would have thought Windows would have... Because this must be...
Because it shows graphics card temperatures in Task Manager.
Yeah. Because this must be standardized to some level at this point.
Yeah. I mean, it's BIOS, obviously. So, and now that BIOS...
UEFI, by today's standards.
Sure. But now that those are all accessible outside of, the literal boot sequence, that kind of data should be more accessible. Speaking of which, I when I still haven't fucking got around to updating my BIOS, but I did go and look at it, so I'm more aware of what's in there. And I'm still I was having the stupid problem where, like, when you turn my PC off, the back case fan that's attached to the heatsink on the motherboard, that its fan light doesn't turn off when you turn the PC off.
Oh yes, yeah, you mentioned this, yeah.
So I was like, okay, that's got to be a BIOS thing, right? Because obviously that's the last possible thing that happens when you're turning the machine on or off. The first thing that happens when you turn it on, the lights come on, and then so I was like, oh yeah.
Presumably, it depends how it's wired.
Well, yeah, but then I went into the BIOS, and it's like, oh yeah, there's a setting here that's like allow the BIOS to control the case lights, so they turn on instantly rather than only starting once it gets to Windows and the Gigabyte controller, so the thing boots up.
Gotcha.
So I was like, okay, so if I turn that off, that'll solve the problem, right? In fact, no. It's like that prevents the case lights coming on while it's booting, but when you turn it off, that light still doesn't turn off.
Oh.
So it's like, why is it even doing that?
Wait, so is it off if you like hard power it?
Yeah, I mean, if you not hard.
As in, you turn it off at the power supply.
Yes, if you turn it off literally at the wall socket, it turns everything off.
Then it's off, yeah. But then when you turn it back on in that state, so it's not yet booted, but powered.
Off, yes.
Oh, interesting. Okay,
it's something's lingering in the not fully powered off state that computers go into nowadays.
Do you know how that fan is wired? Like whether it's just like lighting off the the same thing that drives the fan, or if it's lighting off of a separate RGB.
I don't know. I haven't looked at it that closely. But because the thing is, like, the front case fans, they do turn off properly. It's just that one at the back that's attached to the motherboard fan.
Weird.
You can't even see that
kind of. It's not some kind of intelligent thing where it's like, I'll keep running until it's fully cooled down or something. It's
no, because the fan definitely goes off, just the light doesn't.
I mean, because if it is RGB wired, you've probably got spare RGB jumpers on your motherboard, so you could just try moving it to a different RGB jumper and seeing if that fixes the problem. Or if it's which case fan is it?
Just the one at the back.
Oh, you could just take that out then.
Yeah, I could.
I mean, not the fan, but take the RGB out because it's next to pointless back there.
I don't know if I can...
Unless you've got like a proper glass side and you care about how it looks inside the glass.
The open side on my case is facing a wall anyway. the
right.
one that you could see through potentially.
The nice side.
I don't think if in that Gigabyte control center you can't individually control fan color, can you? You can change all of them. Yeah,
that Gigabyte control center's not great.
No.
Like, it's pretty rubbish for it. You'd probably need a third part. I forget what it is. Well, there's IQ3. No, IQ is Corsair's. I think there is a third party tool that I've been meaning to actually look into at some point that can.
Well, you need it to control your RAM.
Well, yes, because my RAM lights are constantly rainbowing, but I've grown to quite like that. I did toy with them at one point. I actually downloaded Corsair's IQ software and tried to, it doesn't, again, like almost everything with RGB lights, it's not quite as customizable as you would want it to be. Like, I couldn't come up with something I liked. I could have just made them white, just lean into this tundra thing, my icy computer theme. But I've grown to like the weird rainbow, just the defaults. It creates a nice sort of like glow on the side of the mesh. Pleasing.
So one day I'll maybe if I update the BIOS like I keep not getting around to do, maybe that'll fix it. Maybe it's just because I'm using an old BIOS.
It's plausible. I wish the BIOS menu, because I bought the ice version of the motherboard, right?
Yeah.
So, but the one thing so the motherboard is white basically, but the motherboard itself. But I kind of wish they didn't theme the BIOS to be that as well, because I like a good dark mode. But that BIOS is white mode.
That's fine. It's a BIOS.
I know. I know, but it's just like there's a bit of me that's like every BIOS I've ever used has always been like
a DOS prompt.
Well, either a DOS prompt or my last machine was quite a dark scheme with with white text on, or grey text. Actually, it was pretty dim on top of it, and then to use a basically full white dash is a bit much.
I think I kind of don't even remember what it looked like when I looked at it, but I think my one had like orange highlights because it's Gigabyte or whatever. That's their colour scheme.
Right.
Orange and grey, right?
I mean, it's their sort of logo colours, yeah. But then this one's like default. I mean, the motherboard's default lighting is a sort of weird blue and purple hue around one of. I don't even know what it's called anymore. I was about to say like North Bridge or South Bridge as if I knew what the hell I was talking about. But there's a cool there's like a heat spreader somewhere on the board and there's lights around it, and those go as by default a sort of blue purpley hue. Lights.
Yep, lights.
Is it weird that like that became a thing in PCs? Like RGB everything.
Well, it's kind of dumb that like it became 100% standard.
Yeah. That it got built in at at BIOS and motherboard levels.
Well,
So
and
that's
like
true.
you can't like even just a lot of the time the individual components like RAM or whatever it's very difficult to get like non-RGB ones.
Well, yeah, in some cases it was cheaper.
Yeah. Well, I mean maybe that's an indication of actual supply and demand. Maybe
Yeah.
people don't like the RGB on the RAM.
Well, where I work, they actually have a few of the machines they've bought just happen to have RGB gear in it because that was the cost-effective way of getting the power spec they were after. It's like, so, there's this stuffy business office with this one PC in the corner that's sort of having a rave.
Yep. Classic.
It's quite odd.
I mean, it's not like theoretically there's much concern about, the environment in terms of like energy usage, but like it is still, the voltages on a PC are like small, but then like LEDs use a small voltage, and therefore it's like proportionally it's actually quite a large voltage to put through the extra LEDs.
Yeah, I guess.
You think you wouldn't want to stress your, I don't know, energy pathways or whatever more.
Yeah.
The 12-volt rail or whatever.
But I guess
the LEDs don't run on the
I guess the overall power rating, the wattage of these things must be like, low to a point where it's irrelevant.
Well, it's not really the wattage so much as the strain, right? That's why you always have that, you have to keep the voltage on the rails between very precise limits, or because that's what overclocking is about, obviously. But you'd think having the LEDs draw that little bit more could make it a little worse.
Yeah, I wonder if the motherboard's able to, it's because you plug all your RGB straight into the motherboard now. I wonder if it's able to manage that to some capacity. Or if it's on just a different power, like the power supplies just have it.
Maybe there's an LED rail.
Yeah.
It's like, this is only for the LED powers.
Yeah, I don't actually know. I have no idea how that's managed at that level. Still, it looks pretty.
Kind of.
It's definitely a streak in the kind of PC master race of like very bad taste. Which has been the case since like the 90s beige boxes. It's like, now we can have nice looking things. No, RGB everything.
We've been through the nice phase, and now it's like,
Yeah.
well, what else do we do? Well, we Lamborghini this shit.
Well, the trouble is that, because it's more, like, even in our cases, it's more effort than we can be bothered with to actually do much with it. So you just get rainbow. And it's just like, that's now become too generic. It's just like, all colours is no colour.
Rainbow is the standard. Like, I'm the stuff that I like directly looking at, yes, I will adjust that, like my keyboard and mouse, for instance, make those a tasteful hue of some description. But I don't mind. I don't know why. I don't know, and that's the thing. I don't know why I don't mind the ridiculous rainbow in my PC case.
You can't actually see it that much.
And I guess it's super obvious. It's like if I've forgotten to turn the machine off and I walk past my office and there's just this, there's this coming out the doorway.
And then, of course, if you do bother to adjust your LEDs, no one does anything interesting with it. It's like blue.
Yeah, I mean,
And
what
it's
do you
static.
do? I mean, theoretically, you have every color available, but like, what are you going to do that's interesting with that?
Yeah, well, I don't know. Some of the one that always, there's some cool builds that have come to my head where they've gone they've gone into the industrial slant, right, and have used orangey lights to make it look like bits of the machine are like hot, like a forge or something like that. Those,
okay.
With a black build, so it's like a black and orange build, and those are kind of cool looking. And of course, you could go the other way of a full ice build in the end, but then it's like, well, yeah, maybe blue is the choice you'd have. Maybe a blue purple hint going on. But I think where you fall down a little bit on that is like if you want to animate this stuff in any way, it's like that's where the software kind of lets you down.
Well, because it's a colour wheel, right? So usually the transitions, that's why Rainbow is default, because it's just go round the wheel.
Yeah, just go round and it's easy. Yeah. Like when I was looking at the Corsair stuff, it's like my RAM has addressable zones, right? It's got quite a few of them, so like to make the rainbow effect like change as it goes up it. And in theory, the software could access those and put whatever you want in it, but I found I was like immediately limited by like what the software allowed me to add in terms of the gradient that cycled through it, or and maybe that's actually because it's being stored somewhere on the RAM, so it remembers it when it's before the software starts or something like that. I don't know how that actually works. Maybe that's a limitation on that side, but yeah, it was, I don't know, I couldn't get it. I couldn't do anything interesting with it, so I turned it off. I guess I didn't care about my theme that much.
Yeah. I mean, and then it goes even further with like, I think I've seen a CPU cooler that literally has like a screen on it.
Oh yes, I've seen those. Yeah,
like nodding Gandalf on their CPU.
Yeah, I've seen that on some graphics cards have that on the side of them as well now. Right. Little LED screens that you can put GIFs on.
Well, you can, but like, come on.
Exactly.
Put a temperature monitor on there at least, or something.
Well, I think a lot of the high end like CPU coolers, they tend to put by default they'll put a temperature monitor up. But
okay, it kind of makes sense.
Which again, in my PC wouldn't actually be useful because you can't even look in that side of the case because that's the side that
it's against the wall.
Yeah.
And in Rob's case, it's under the table, which is slightly more useful. At least you can look in that side.
Yeah.
But you do have to lean down. Look at it.
A bit of me just doesn't really get the whole I'm going to put my PC on the desk thing. Like, yeah, I guess I agree. I guess it's a wee bit more convenient if you really are plugging and unplugging all kinds of stuff all the time.
Well, that's what top ports are for. Though.
Yeah, that's what top ports are for. And also, isn't it just that bit more noisy? Like, because you're nearer the fans and all that stuff. It's like, isn't that just annoying?
But better airflow, I guess.
Presumably, yeah. Because I guess it's not on. Well, in my case, it's on. Well, it's not exactly a thick carpet, but it's on carpet. So
it's not carpet. It's just like the slightly enclosed space of being under the desk rather than exposed to the flows from windows and whatnot.
True. But then I'd imagine most people aren't like near windows, like they're in the sort of the corner of the room where there isn't any, because that's the use of space for monitors. It's like
sort of. It's almost the opposite problem where I have it, because I do have a window like right there, and if it's raining particularly hard, you do kind of get a mist coming in through that window, and I'm like, that's blowing directly into the side of my PC.
Yeah, that's not good. Yes, these vents are all this mesh and all this protection is for dust, not liquid particulate. Anyway, that's Tech Corner.
Yep. That's how you can tell that we've been in the random section already, because we don't have much else to talk about in news.
I'm mildly surprised we talked about this years ago, right, when Mac M1s and all this started coming about, and it's like, yeah. I'm somewhat surprised the SoC revolution hasn't happened. I know I fought back on your theory on that at the time, but...
In Microsoft...
Well, just in
PC land.
Yeah, just in other machine land in general. Like, I know like that's kind of a big deal in Steam Deck world and kind of what mini PCs are, right? They are these kind of things, but they're mini PCs. They're not power machines. They're not anything juicy in those generally.
I mean, the only ones that are fully converted are Macs, right? Like even the Mac Super Pro or whatever
Right,
is the
yeah.
SoC at this point.
So
And they are incredibly powerful, right?
So yeah, I'm just a bit surprised that hasn't happened yet. I guess maybe it is just prohibitively expensive to do unless you have control of the market, like you do in Apple Land, right? It's like, well, these are the only Macs you can buy. So if you want a Mac, you have to buy one of these. Therefore, we can do it. Whereas I guess there's so many manufacturers of PCs that it becomes a bit harder to put the effort in to build what would essentially be an Xbox or PlayStation grade bit of hardware.
Basically, that's it. Yeah,
and it's despite
what
the
Steam
obvious,
Deck is, I guess.
despite the obvious technical benefits to potentially doing it that way.
Yeah. Yeah. Certainly with laptops, you'd think that this is kind of like I said at the time, I thought this would be an unassailable advantage basically for Apple.
Sure.
That they can make a much more powerful laptop that uses much less power and runs much cooler.
Yeah.
By doing it this way.
So the closest, you're right in that the closest things to that are things like Steam Deck and the ROG Ally and stuff like that. But even then, they were kind of just. I guess I don't know enough about this stuff, but like there's an element where I think those are just in some ways mostly just miniaturized PC and laptop architectures. They're not the same grade, right? They haven't gone as far as console level or Mac level SoCs.
And then on top of that, they're still running compatibility layers.
Yeah, indeed.
Proton and
even though those are very, very good at this point.
Even though they're good, yeah.
It's like those machines have only really been possible because APUs became more of a thing.
I thought Microsoft would get more into it or whatever, but
definitely.
I don't know if they really care. I think they're more into cloud and
Well, I
AI
guess
and
the
stuff.
Surface does well enough. They're still pretty well regarded devices with their current design, so I guess they don't need to push the boat out.
Go to if you're corporate and you're buying.
I don't know.
For people is it still like Lenovo ThinkPads or whatever? Or,
I mean, that's what our company deals in, so that's my only frame of reference. I know
that probably is the most common.
I know Dell is still pretty big in that space.
Dell.
Maybe HP, maybe.
But it seems weird. Like, how can Dell compete with, with the Macs? Obviously, then they get totally different operating systems, totally different. Corporations are not going to switch to Mac or whatever. But you think purely in terms of the computing products. Like, you think at this point, now we're on their M4s or something. It's like the gap is significant.
Yeah, I mean, you can still get
for laptops.
you can still get a
PCs.
powerful laptop, but it's the power consumption thing in laptop space, right? That's the big hurdle.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, and the thermals. The Macs aren't actually super great at thermal handling, are they? I think they throttle quite heavily. Like they can go fast, but only in short bursts before they hit serious thermal target problems.
Well, it depends on the chassis, and the Pro ones are a lot better.
Exactly, yeah, but it's still, most people buying a MacBook aren't going to know about any of that.
No, but most people don't need that.
For the most part, yeah. For the most part, you are right.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, these machines are amazing, I must say. At some point, they're going to try it. I don't know. Mac gaming is so weird, isn't it? But at some point, like the graphics, I think they're working towards some kind of parity with the Metal or whatever it is versus DirectX. And then there'll be like no reason there. I don't know. It's hard. I don't really know what the barrier is, because you'd think there'd be just as the barrier for the Steam Deck and the Mac would be quite similar, because they're both like ARM Unix. Well, one's Linux and Mac is like a Unix derivative. But
and Steam Deck isn't really ARM based, is it? It's
Is it ARM?
No, I think it is. It's just x86 style.
Oh, is it?
It's basically it's just an AMD processor. Didn't think it was ARM layer at all.
Oh, So why do they need if it's x86? Is the
problem is still you've still got to transfer between Linux land to DirectX and stuff like that,
right?
And because a lot of apps still run in Windows world, right? You've still got to make that transition. If I've understood that correctly, but yeah, I didn't think Steam Deck was ARM.
Interesting. I mean, that makes it easier, right? Presumably.
Yeah, I mean, you've still got to. Yeah, it's still an API job, right? You've still got to traverse that boundary. But yeah, it's not an instruction swap. It's not an emulation.
Yeah, which it is on the Mac. Yeah, well, it is now. Yeah, weird. And there won't be another Xbox, so the only game in town is like PlayStation 5. Oh, and Switch, I guess. That's an Nvidia thing, right?
Yeah, what is the Switch? That must be ARM, right?
That must be ARM, yeah.
Yeah. The old Tegra calls probably were, yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
To some extent, I guess that's the job of Unity and Unreal at this point, to make it easy for developers to just build for the platform they're making it on, and they're releasing it on, and have the middleware do the work for you, for the most part. At least in gaming land, which is a podcast
about
that concerns it.
Indeed. Do we have any news going on?
Not a lot. It's pretty quiet at the moment. I mean,
it's the summer.
It's the summer between the summer events. You see what I mean? We've had Summer Games Fest. We've had new E3, E4, and now we're waiting for Gamescom, which is too far away at this point. I believe that's early-ish August. I can't remember off the top of my head. So we'll get a little bit. We'll have another Keighley show then. There are rumours that there's another Nintendo Direct on the horizon. But at the moment, no one's really saying a lot about video games.
Went to my friend's 40th birthday party yesterday. And also last night. Talked to our friend Ben, who I hadn't seen for a while. He's working at Rare at the moment. He was not caught up in the redundancy, but a lot of people were, I guess.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to say that sounded a bit too oh, good for him. No,
but he was working on whatever it was, Ever.
He was working on Everwild. Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
And and he basically said like they should have cancelled it ages ago because it was clearly not going well. If it's 6 years, and it was in a terrible state. So, but anyway, let's see if Thieves is still going.
Well, yes, I guess that's. It's one of those things of like games that have been going for that long, like Sea of Thieves and stuff. No one talks about it anymore, really, and it's like, is that still quietly doing well enough? Making Microsoft enough cash in some form? I think
he said they were profitable. Rare was
okay.
making money. So yeah, but then it's like, why are you firing everyone if you're making money? Well,
yeah, the usual problem, right? Business doesn't make sense.
Talked to another guy who was working at Rocksteady.
Oh.
I don't know. They're making more superhero games. That's as much as he said. Oh. Hardly surprising.
Like Dan has a source. This might be a hot. This might be a hot tip.
There you go. It's hardly surprising, is it? That's all they've done since like Batman Arkham Asylum.
Ever? Did they do anything before
Maybe
Batman?
Ever. Yeah. Okay.
Were they around before Batman?
Yeah. I don't know. Anyway, nice dude. There's my insider tips for the gaming industry party yesterday evening.
You may have got someone fired.
I highly doubt it.
No, it's not much of a stretch to think Rocksteady might be doing that. It's going to be a Superman game, and someone's got to redeem Superman at some point.
Because wasn't Superman in the Suicide Squad one or whatever
as a bad guy, wasn't he?
Yeah, as a bad guy. Yeah. Maybe now with the James Gunn film, he'll become a bit more classic Superman in other media as well.
I haven't been able to get a sense on whether that's a good film or not.
Sounds like it's all right.
Okay, just all right.
Yeah.
Like all Superman films.
Like all origin films.
I mean,
Not really an origin film, I suppose. First of that version of Superman film.
Oh, okay, yeah.
it's a lot more upbeat and colourful than the Zack Snyder style of Superman, I think.
There's
Less
not much.
depressing.
Doesn't have to do much to
No,
beat that bar.
that's true.
No.
That's not modern brown. That's DC Universe black.
I heard that it tries to do like current like social commentary on like Gaza situation and stuff like
Yes.
that.
God, really?
Yeah,
By
but,
having
like,
two really obvious parallel countries that are not named
Yeah.
Israel and Palestine.
Sokovia and,
this is-
whatever.
This is Jizrael and and Baza. Great. Good job, guys.
How do you keep it light, like in those stories?
I
with
don't
Superman
know.
When he's
Well-
so powerful, he can stop wars and things. It's like,
Well,
just-
how do you make a
can't-
game of that? It's like,
yeah, I know.
You just don't. Well, yeah, you do what Marvel does. It's like, and millions of people's died. Moving on. We didn't show any of that, but you know that just murdered 1,000 people in that instant.
But that's what everyone was pissed off about with like the DC Batman vs Superman and stuff, right? Where they have a big fight and all the buildings blow up, and they're like, "Look at all these people that just died."
Well,
Yeah.
we said that about the Super Mario movie. In fairness,
Well, we
Like-
say that about anything, where like untold destruction happens,
Fast
like
and
everyone
Furious.
just ignores it.
Like, how many deaths have the Fast and Furious crew caused?
Yeah.
Like, just innocent bystanders. It must be in the hundreds at this point.
one of my favorites is like the end of Star Trek Into Darkness. Is that right? Where like they literally crash the ship
they
into
crash
San
the ship.
Francisco and kill
Yeah.
everyone, and it's like we won.
They did already blow up an entire planet in that movie. Also, oh no, wait,
That's
the previous
true.
movie.
But it was also just previous movie. That's true.
But yes, that did happen. I guess that was sort of was it into a lake though?
In the sea, I guess, if it's San Francisco.
Yeah.
I'm sure it hit some skyscrapers all the way down.
I'm sure it caused a fucking giant wave.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we won't focus on that. It's fine.
I don't remember if the Golden Gate Bridge blew up in the
important.
process of that. I'm pretty sure it probably did.
Most important part.
So all that matters about disasters happening to San Francisco is how the Golden Gate Bridge gets blown up.
My favourite version of that on screen is always what is it? Probably the third X-Men film or something, where Magneto
Stand.
like picks up the Golden Gate Bridge
Oh,
and like
yeah.
places it between the city and Alcatraz or something. But it's like that's not how my favourite bugbear. That's not how suspension bridges work. You have to actually tie the cables at each end, otherwise it'll just flop over.
Well, unless he did, and we just couldn't see that bit.
Yeah,
like he
maybe.
was holding the suspense while he was moving it, and then
Or he-
sort of mushed it into the floor or something.
Or he
Yeah,
somehow managed to
yeah.
get like enough land mass still attached at each end to like act as counterweights to keep the tension.
I mean, maybe, but surely
But he has
Magneto
the power
couldn't
to-
lift
yeah.
that. Yeah,
It's like
You
that's
can
not
only
metal.
lift the metal.
But in theory, like if you want
unless
to,
it was still hanging on to the end
Well, yeah.
bits. Like,
Yeah.
or if you want to just like extrapolate Magneto's powers as much as you wanted, like he just like magnetically controls the rebar and like dug it through the earth and just meshed it together enough to lift it all up
Oh, I
together.
see what you mean. Yeah, he actually did the scooping while he was there. It's quite a complex process to do from like a few miles away.
Yeah. In my mind, he was just holding up the entire bridge behind him throughout the entire rest of the sequence.
Well, I mean that could
Oh, well,
also
yeah.
be true.
Vinnie Jones running around. Oh, the juggernaut, bitch. Oh, so stupid.
It was alright. It was an alright film. It was fun. It was fun.
Didn't it have Kelsey Grammer as the Beast? Or-
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good beast. It's the right casting.
Sure.
Didn't stand on any rakes. Sideshow Bob reference.
More's the pity.
So that wasn't news, apparently.
No, that wasn't news. That definitely wasn't news. Oh boy. What is going on? Mortal Kombat 2 is getting a film.
Also not video game news, really.
God.
Well, they're not Mortal Kombat. Yeah, it's not video game news, but like they're calling it Mortal Kombat 2 in parentheses.
Well, the 2 is in front.
Yeah, in the text I've seen of it. Anyway, that's just how it's been presented. I think it's to like differentiate itself like from Mortal Kombat 2, which has already happened. But maybe that's, I don't know. Maybe.
Was it Roman numerals or is it the regular 2?
Well, that's a good question. That's a good point. Actually, I don't know. It might have been regular 2. Yeah. So they're making a new Mortal Kombat film. I guess like because they rebooted it. I guess a few years back with a Sub-Zero related story that I'm gonna assume was a prequel to this one, but I don't actually know. But apparently that last one wasn't that bad. Yeah, they've got Keith Urban in it. You know, Keith Urban off of The Boys fame.
He of Boys fame.
And speaking of Star Trek, wasn't he Bones?
He was Bones?
Yeah.
He was Éomer in Lord of the Rings.
So he's Johnny Cage. Which I'm not 100% sure is a great fit, because isn't Johnny Cage supposed to be like, well, to be perfectly brutal, a lot younger?
I mean, I suppose it depends where in the Mortal Kombat timeline this comes up. Maybe it's the old Johnny Cage.
I mean, yeah, I get, but they're introducing this as like this is the first time Johnny Cage has entered the tournament, right? Like they're basically doing like this is the, I guess the plot of MK9. I guess whether this is in theory in the like in whatever timeline this is the first time Earth Realm has been involved in the tournament. I guess. Anyway, kind of looks fun. They said get over here.
They.
Well, I mean,
I hope one specific person.
One specific person, yes. They of the trailer people said get over here. Yeah, so there's that. Microsoft has, or Xbox, I should say, I guess has stepped back on Outer Worlds 2 being their first $80 game. Because it won't be. It's going to be $70 now. They haven't decided to follow Nintendo down this path, as it turns out. And they've also said that no other 2025 game will be an $80 game. At least Xbox made. You know, Xbox Game Studios made game, I guess. So, yeah, they're basically walking back on that idea a little bit. Nobody really knows why. I mean, I guess it would be foolish to think that they looked at the rhetoric around Mario Kart World being $80 and saying that was the fan backlash, because whoever listens to that. And why would you look at that? Because it's Mario Kart World and it's sold a bucket load.
Microsoft are more likely to look at it than Nintendo.
Yeah, I mean, maybe.
We'll see when Metroid comes out. That'll be the real test.
That can't possibly be.
It could be.
Especially as it's a cross-gen game. I can't see it.
What about Tears of the Kingdom?
Well, I mean, I guess Tears technically is, I suppose, if you're buying the Switch 2 version, right?
It's a cross-gen game for $80.
I mean, that game's worth $80.
But it's also enormous, yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
We don't know what Metroid's like. It could be enormous, somehow.
Oh, I doubt it. I don't want it to be enormous, to an extent. I don't want it to be an open world. No, I want a nice prime-sized chunk. That'll do. That'll do me. Anyway, so that's what's going on with that. I don't know if that's a... Is that a knock against Outer Worlds 2, do you think? Well, it can't possibly be an $80 game. It can't possibly be. But I guess after like having played Avowed, if this was like a similar scale to Avowed, do you think it justifies the $80 price tag? Like, because I'm like, no.
No. Right? Like, Avowed didn't even feel like a full price game.
Oh, really? Oh, you're going to be that critical? Okay. Is that just because we've been spoilt by Skyrim?
Like, it's not really Skyrim, it's like the tropes, I guess. It was a kind of an obvious kind of game that looked nicer than average.
I mean, yes, it has a very nice visual fidelity. So there's that. I mean, I guess we could talk about Steam delisting a lot of adult-only content games.
Delisting?
Yeah.
As in they're gone?
As in they're gone, because because payment providers don't want to be associated with porn, and because Steam, uses payment providers for people to buy stuff, they have basically as part of their agreement with, I guess it's like top level as well. It's like Visa, isn't it? And
Visa and
MasterCard, and so it's not even like it's a bank or individual things like that. It's right at the top level. They just don't want to be associated with those industries at all. So they will not allow you to use those payments on that sort of content. And I guess Steam and Valve couldn't put a conditional system in for that. Because I guess why would you? So they've just taken that content off, which is mildly interesting because it's just like the big question that hangs over all of this is like, why do the payment providers care? It's not like it reflects on it's not like it reflects on them badly what people are buying with your systems. Like it's because you're one step removed from that. They aren't the product.
Yeah, but you could say that about YouTube adverts. Like, why does YouTube care what the adverts are on YouTube? Because they're not the ones putting them up, they're just hosting the service.
I mean, that's a little different because you're directly watching that content on YouTube. Like, YouTube is still having to serve it to you in some way.
Sure, but that's still a provider in the same way as a payment provider. It's just like the product. It's like, I mean, admittedly, the advert, it's not like the money and the advert would be the comparison there, whereas the content of the advert is the thing that's actually the money is not inherently bad. Well, kind of. I guess it can be.
I think it's a bit. I don't know. I don't know that correlates. I can see where you're coming from, but I don't think it's the same. It's like if I saw an advert on Channel 5, say, I would turn on. I could tell the story by I was watching Channel 5 and I saw this. Whereas if I was saying I bought this game on Steam and it turned out to be porn, it's like I'm not going to add and I used my Visa card. Check this shit out into that conversation. It's not. It's a step removed, I think, from that.
Okay, wait. No, I've actually the slightly better YouTube analogy is if you are
buying guns.
No, it's like if you are like Coca-Cola and your advert is appearing on a bad video on YouTube.
Right, yes.
Then they get pissed off at YouTube, not at the content.
Yeah, I guess Coke get pissed off at YouTube for allowing their ads to be shown alongside questionable material.
That's the better direct comparison to this, I guess.
I guess.
It's like credit card companies are allowing their Steam to use their service to do the payment providing, but they don't want people buying bad shit with it.
Yeah.
But it's all because of America, basically. It's all their fault. God damn it.
So what? No, why is it specifically an American problem?
Because that's just.
Is it what you mean? It's just like. I don't even know how to describe it. Like, who was the guy that was like against violent video games, like famously, like in the
Oh yeah,
2000.
the lawyer who was trying to make money out of it. Thompson, was it?
Yes, Jack Thompson. That's it. Well done.
Yes, it's probably still a hang up from the moral panic age of American culture, I guess.
Right, yeah.
Because all those people are still fucking alive and running these companies.
Won't somebody please think of the children types? Yeah.
And as I mentioned to Rob before we started the podcast, it's like this is only happening to Steam. Like it's been happening to a bunch of other companies and stuff before now. That they've just arrived at Steam currently. It happened to like OnlyFans and Patreon and that kind of other things.
Like actual adult industries, I suppose.
Sure, yeah, the ones that were actually porn.
Yeah.
I mean, not that the stuff on Steam isn't also actually porn, but...
It's not even hidden on Steam, like, sometimes. That's the wood, like, I guess I suppose you have to have, like...
Well, yeah, it's based on your filters.
Yeah, like, I'm okay. Well, but then, like, that's on because it's like, I don't mind seeing trailers in full, right? Or stuff like that. Or is there a specific option just for adult content?
There is.
Oh, okay, I don't know what I've done. I don't remember going out of my way to turn that off.
It's probably default because it was never set up when they introduced that system like 10 years ago or whatever.
Right.
As we gradually updated Steam over the years.
Okay, so I guess I could turn that off.
Yes, there's a bunch of settings you probably never looked at because you didn't even realise they were ever patched in at some point.
But it normally still, like, censors screenshots from those by default, right? Like the game is listed, but then
Yes,
like that right hand bar of
mostly.
screenshots. Yeah, that's the thing. Mostly, like there's definitely been some turning up on like new and trending list if you go into Steam, and it's just like, oh, it's just right there.
Well, maybe it's
It's just right there.
maybe it's just been like badly tagged or whatever, and it hasn't been corrected or whatever.
That's some junk just on my Steam homepage. How about that?
Definitely lots of junk.
No, I'm not going to ask that question. I'm going to... Sorry, that's a very funny thought that I don't think I can share. Yeah, it's all a bit odd. I get it's the obvious thing is like Yoko Taro of Nier Automata has piped up about all of this and has said like, yeah, it's a bit of a ultimately just saying like it's a bit of a concerning precedent for this stuff. Like I guess like it's compounded by the fact that I think Steam's inadequate tagging that you sort of touched on there is perhaps leading some games that aren't really what you would call that category of adult games being on the delisted pile.
I mean, it probably like there's probably some. It's like what. How did Steam choose what the delist? Did they use their own tagging system, or was it like some other mechanism that the payment providers delivered to them to say like we don't want to see any of this, and then Steam had to like look through their stuff using their tags and hopefully catch it all or whatever.
Because I don't know that I've seen like they definitely have a sexual content tag.
Sure.
But again, it's like what level do you consider? At what level do you use that tag? Right? Is that like?
Yes. Well,
is that like lingerie level, or is that
website tagging system where it's like, what does this tag actually mean?
Yeah, like what is the level at which you apply that tag? Like, yeah, is it, as I said, is it lingerie level or is it swinging in the wind level? You know, it's it's a little bit undefined, and it's led to a bit of a problem. Then do we start getting like region-specific problems? Do certain games? Well, certain games should probably be locked behind the age verification thing, because that's a whole different problem.
Yep. That exists.
That exists. Yeah. So is that come into play yet? I don't know. Like there's like in the UK, new rules have been passed that mean like adult entertainment websites now require age verification for you to like not just clicking a button saying I'm 18. Like you now have to provide proof of age. Which unfortunately means proof of ID in some way, which is in itself a privacy concern. Especially when you're thinking about services like this, right? It's
Well, as always, you would hope that they shouldn't be storing that information at all.
Well,
they should use it to verify, and it should be deleted immediately.
But then they need to keep something in order to.
Sure. So
you don't have to do it every single time. Yeah, it's a bit messy. They're watching you.
I mean, as soon as you said it, it's like, it would be effort, but like the solution of having Steam just be like, you just can't buy those type of games with MasterCard or Visa. You have to use a PayPal or
I guess.
Steam wallet credits or whatever.
Oh yeah. What if you do it that way? If you've just got stuff in your wallet and it's not even going to the payment provider for that specific purchase at that time?
It's like, that could be a way around it, but I think that probably... the Steam Wallet one probably would still get caught up in that system, but I don't know if PayPal... You have to have a payment provider specifically that doesn't mind.
I guess the payment system the current flow is a bit of a problem because they actually do have the logos for all the providers, right? So I guess they would have to not have that, so it's not even like visibly associative.
Yeah, you'd have to be like, if you clicked one of those games into your cart, it would remove all the other options and leave only the ones that were valid.
Right, yeah.
But they're not going to do that. It's too much effort.
It's just a weird situation to be in. And it's like, I guess ultimately, yeah, the guys who control the money literally control the money. They don't even they don't necessarily have the money, but they control the flow of money, are controlling other entities.
That's capitalism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mildly terrifying, as always.
How should they do it though? I mean, it's like, I guess it's like the government ID cards back, right? Idea. I never thought that's such a bad idea. I guess it sounds like boomers are against it because it sounds like socialism or something. It sounds like Soviet Russia or something.
Yeah, I guess there's some...
And also, the opposite end of that scale where it's like, it's modern China and, like your social credit or whatever.
China, yeah, yeah,
you
exactly.
have to be monitored at all times.
Social credit, yeah.
Yeah.
1984.
But it would be convenient to have I guess you got your government gateway ID thingamajig. Boost that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, technically we already kind of have those.
Yes.
It's our national insurance, but they don't... They're not used as an ID card, right, in this country. It's like, it's not... You get asked...
No.
If you want proof of ID, it's our passports, it's our driver licenses. It's like, there's no, like, unified ID. I'm kind of with you, Dan, in that, like, I actually don't think the idea of a unified ID is a bad one, necessarily.
No.
But it doesn't solve the problem here, which is, it's like, do you want to share with some entity on the internet that you like a certain flavour of boob swinging? It's like...
I mean, that's not the problem. The problem is that if it leaks out of that one place.
That too.
If you assume perfect privacy, then who cares?
It depends how the age verification system works. If it has to dial up a government server, then it's like, it doesn't matter. The government knows. It's, yeah.
Yes, exactly. Who cares if the government knows what porn you're into? Really? Unless it's a very...
maybe you're right. Maybe that's the core. Maybe that's the fallback. It's like, whatever you're into, it can't be as bad as what Boris Johnson's
is into. Yeah, that's probably true.
There's always someone worse.
There's always someone worse, yeah.
How many kids has he got now? I'm so losing track.
52.
How many has Carrie had?
Carrie's an unfortunate name.
Do you think?
Well,
for this context,
yeah.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, that's true.
And that's the end
at
of
least
news.
at least she's a Mrs. and not a Miss Carrie.
Oh boy. That's dark.
Well, she's had like 3. No, 4. 4. Oh my god. Amazing.
4 Borislets. Assuming they were Borislets.
Borislets, yeah. Pretty sure they were.
Borites?
And that's the news you said.
That's the news.
It's time for what you've been playing. What have you been playing, Zach? What have you been playing?
Well, I played the whole of Donkey Kong Bananza. Well, not really.
Wait, wow, okay.
Because I didn't finish the post game, of course.
Oh my god, you've done the whole thing.
Jeez, okay.
It only took 35 hours to get through the regular game.
Oh right, okay. 35 hours to creds is pretty respectable.
Yeah, although that was like 100% to credits. I was getting everything along the way because you can. Because first thing, obviously, about this game, which some people have a real problem with, is that it's just fucking Mario Odyssey. It's like, obviously. Yeah.
That is not a problem. That sounds like quite a plus to me.
Well, but the slight problem with that is it's not as good as Mario Odyssey.
Yeah, that
it's like a lesser version of Mario Odyssey.
I mean, I think we saw this coming.
Sure.
Yeah, I was thinking not as good as Mario Odyssey, but like they're trying out new crazy mechanics that they couldn't do in Mario, basically.
It's kind of isn't that kind of what they did with the was it the cat Mario, Bowser's Fury as well? That was sort of like an idea, but admittedly on a much smaller project.
But this, I expected them to do the fully open world Mario, but instead they've done this, which is not open world. It's in the exact same style as Odyssey.
It's basically the same structure as Odyssey. In fact, almost literally, where it's like you go to the map and then there's that one point where you do a branch and you go to one of two different levels, and then it's basically just Mario Odyssey.
But it kind of makes a bit more sense that they didn't go fully open world here because of the terrain stuff, right?
Yeah,
like that would have been a whole lot of. It would have been more to keep track of.
Well, I
like,
mean, it doesn't.
Technical challenge, I suppose.
It's not that bad. I mean, it keeps track of it, providing you don't turn the game off.
Providing you don't, or leave the level, right? Like,
well, no, it remembers if you. It remembers if you leave the level. I think I'm pretty sure.
Oh, I thought I saw reviews where that wasn't a thing. If you go somewhere else and come back, it's reset.
No, I think. Well, there's sub levels as well within the structure of one level, and those definitely retain, obviously.
Oh, that would make sense
because you're not out of the technical level.
Yeah. Like if I travelled to a different, what are they even called in Odyssey? Like different continents or different lands. Yeah.
But yeah.
So not as good as Mario Odyssey, but that's a very good game. So do you like it?
Yeah, that's a pretty high bar in fairness. So if it's just a little bit under that bar, that's still a pretty good game.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's fine as a game. Like it's
fine.
Well, I mean,
fine, rave sacrifices.
It's hard to
10 out of 10 says IGN.
It's hard to think of better ways to describe it than just like a slightly less good Mario Odyssey. Like it has the exact same, like every level there's 70 odd bananas or whatever, and you go around and collect them all, and there's a list, and then there's the fossils, which are the equivalent of the purple coins.
Right.
Collect them and buy them. Clothes. It's just Mario Odyssey. Again.
Is that do you think that's a bit of a disappointment? Like, as in, it's been so long since Odyssey that for them to effectively have made Odyssey 2.
Well, I think the trouble is that what the new tech that they were trying to do with the destructive terrain is that's kind of what makes it less good than Odyssey because
I guess the levels can't have as much character. Is that in a way?
The biggest problem is really that. Well, there's a couple of problems that sort of compound into making it like that. Is that you have too much freedom to destroy terrain and stuff, which makes it virtually impossible for them to make puzzles, basically. And even when they do make puzzles, they accidentally give you ways around it
bypass the puzzles
by using the powers or whatever. Rather than in Odyssey, where because the cat powers are you have to capture this specific thing that can only exist in this one specific place, and you can't take that away with you to somewhere else. So the puzzles could be built around that. Whereas
I see what you mean. So it's the wrong lessons from Tears of the Kingdom and a little bit, and that it's here are the tools, you can use it to break the game if you want, but it's just and it's that's a cool thing, well, we got marked up for that. It's let's just allow the player to just break it horrifically.
Well, I mean, that was kind of the argument of why sometimes Tears of the Kingdom didn't work, where it's just you can just solve the puzzle by making a pile of parts and then that's it. There's not really it's not so much of a puzzle when you can bypass it by just spawning shit out of your inventory or whatever.
Right. I think that's a problem with a lot of not even the games of this type, right, where you fall back on a strategy, or games with skill trees and stuff like that, or even RPGs where it's just I could experiment with all these options, but I found one that's working, so I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
And so you end up only seeing what is a portion of the game's content, arguably, because you're not encouraged to experiment because what you've found a solution, and that one solution keeps working.
Because it's weird, because right at the start of the game, before you get any of the Bonanza powers, it's oh look, there's a fossil that's embedded in concrete, and you can't destroy concrete by punching it. You have to go and find an explosive to throw at it, and therefore you have to look around the environment to find the explosive. Except, spoilers, you technically don't. If you just pick up a chunk of rock and hit the concrete, it will eventually break. It's just harder to do than just throwing an explosive at it.
Right.
You don't necessarily know that immediately because it tutorializes you to throw explosives at concrete.
Right.
which is also a dumb thing. But like at that point, when you don't have the Bonanza powers, that's really your option. But once you have the first Bonanza power, the Kong Bonanza, that allows you to break concrete by punching it. So you just turn that on and you just punch it. It's like that kind of solved that whole set of puzzles that you could have potentially had there.
That puzzle is gone. Yeah.
And that's doubly bad because of the game design decision tree that I can see happening via testing of like when they were making the Bonanza powers. They were like, oh, you can turn on the Bonanza power anywhere, so you can just use it whenever you want. But then that means that if we don't want to restrict, if you had someone walk up to a concrete wall and they were like, I want to punch through this wall, but I don't have any energy to turn on my Bonanza. So it's like, so how do you rebuild the energy? By getting gold. And where does gold come from? Fucking everywhere, all the time. So why even have the power bar?
Yeah, you just need to beat up some floor for a while.
Yeah, you literally just punch a wall for like 2 seconds and then a shower of gold comes out and then the bar refills.
We've found the American Midwest, haven't we? Like, it's just gold.
Yep, everywhere.
It's gold.
So that's like, and then even worse than that, like that's like the testing phase where they're like, oh, people are getting frustrated because they don't have their Bonanza power available when they want to use it to punch this thing, so we'll make gold refill it, and then gold is fucking everywhere. But then even then, when they've specifically designed puzzles where it's like, this part of the map you're going to need to use the Bonanza power to get through, like maybe the zebra one where you run across the crumbling terrain. Obviously you need the zebra power to be able to do that.
Right, yeah.
That's not just like punching concrete, that's like a very specific thing that is that Bonanza power's ability.
Right, yeah.
So what do you do then? You just put a melon there that you punch and it refills your Bonanza power.
Oh.
That respawns.
Right. So, so you make no effort about like...
Yeah. There's no restriction to the Bonanza, even though you have a power meter. It's just like, that meter might as well not exist, because you've sort of designed it out of the game just by the way the game functions.
You've somewhat hinted, it's like, hey, this is probably a Bonanza puzzle right here. Like,
well, I mean, yes, but it is kind of obvious when it's like that. And then it also stupidly has the Batman problem of detective vision, where you're just constantly hitting the slap button to use the sonar to see things through the terrain.
Radar all the time.
And you're not really looking at the terrain, you're just looking at the outline of things that you can see through a wall. It's just like, I'm just going to punch in that direction. And quite often it's like you'll punch through a wall in that direction towards the thing you can see with sonar, and then when you get there it's like, oh, if I'd walked like 2 seconds around the corner I would have seen the obvious broken bit of wall where you punch into this corridor, but I just punched into this corridor from the other side of a blank wall.
Right.
Like, the level design is completely obliterated by the fact that you can just punch straight through it. Because you don't need to see where the hints are, you can just use the sonar.
Right, yeah, and there's ways of making that, like, massive, isn't there?
Well, it's just an upgrade, and the upgrade tree just extends the range. But the stupid thing about that is, again, it's another one of these weird game design things where it's like, they also have a much better system in the game that is completely obliterated by the sonar system, which they should have got rid of the sonar and just kept this other one. Because when you use the whistle button to just, like, it's basically your GPS thing where it shows the trail that goes to your next objective, that also highlights things that you've had a map for. So if you find one of those treasure chests and it has a map for like a fossil or a banana or whatever in it, those get pinned on your map. So if you open your map, you can look and see where they are. But if you use the whistle, it actually highlights them physically in the world. So you can see those map markers in 3D space and then just work your way to them.
I mean, that sounds way cooler as a concept.
Yes.
Right? You've had to work and find the thing.
You find the map to get the pin, and then it shows it up for you.
And then it's like automatically like doing the like visual ping that you do in Zelda, right?
Yeah.
Like it's just highlighting. It's around here.
Yes. It's much better than just hitting the sonar button constantly as you're moving around. Make it so that you actually find the map, and then you can use this other much better version of the sonar system,
I didn't even think about the sonar like that as a problem. Like, but now that you've said it out loud, it's like, yeah, of course it is. I could just systematically work my way through the level pinging and be like,
just as you're walking.
Here is everything. I don't have to think about finding these.
The only slight problem with that is that the sonar it's hard to tell, but it seems to be like quite planar. Like, you have to be at the same height level to make the ping work. It doesn't really work up or down.
Okay, I guess that's something. Yeah.
Well, so except that kind of sucks because then you just have to like climb up walls and like stop every 10 feet to ping.
Right.
So yeah, that kind of
They've given you a system. Yeah, okay.
it's the detective vision problem. It's like you just do it all the time and you just see it through the walls.
I mean, I think it's more than the detective vision problem. Okay, like detective vision was genuinely useful at finding the things you could interact with, but it came at the detriment of not being able to see the grandeur of the world around you.
I mean, that is kind of what I'm saying though, because when you're doing the ping, you're not actually looking at the terrain. You're trying not to look at the terrain, you're looking at the one thing that's not the terrain to try and get a 3D space feeling of where it is.
There is no spoon.
Yep. So yeah, it's like those design decisions, it's like they've tried to balance out their own things, which kind of negate them in some ways.
Feels a bit Nintendo, like an over-accessible thing.
Yes,
right?
they made it too easy, basically. Especially the Bananza powers, where it's like gold fucking everywhere, and it recharges your meter instantly. And there's even like a third stage to the Bananza meter problem where they give you, there's an item that you can find occasionally and buy from shops that just allows you to start a Bananza without having full energy. So even in the incredibly rare case where your meter is not immediately full, you can just burn one of those items and just start a Bonanza as if it was full.
Gotcha. So it's you upgrade from Burnout 1 to Burnout 3.
Yeah, pretty much.
One thing I found that you won't have found, Zach, because I have the Pro controller, is similar to Zelda, where I bound the
back buttons,
the sprint to the back buttons, or the paddle buttons. If you bind the punch to the paddle buttons, you can punch your way through the terrain while you're still controlling the camera. So you can just like tap it super fast.
That sounds nice. Yeah.
Well, I mean that's not super necessary.
It's not necessary. It's just like you don't even need to. You can swing the camera around while punching.
Sure. Yeah.
But the punch is such a like freely moving animation anyway. It's like you're not locked into a direction or anything while you're punching. But yeah, and then, there's also the different Bonanza powers trivialize each other or like basically remove each other's necessity. Like the one you get right at the start, the Kong Bananza, it's like, now you can punch through the ground real quick, which is real useful if you want to like dig up a bunch of treasure chests or whatever. Huge areas of destruction, and also punching through concrete or whatever. That's its actual puzzle use, is the ability to break concrete. But then, like, later on, you get another power, which I'm not going to spoil because it's, I guess, not been in the trailers, but, like, it's better than the Kong Bananza at destroying terrain.
Right.
And therefore that Bananza becomes completely pointless, and you never use it again.
So, did there end up being more than 3?
Yes.
Okay.
There is 2 more than 3.
Oh, okay.
That's fine.
So they didn't show us everything.
No,
basically.
not quite.
Yeah.
But and then, like, there's maybe not enough levels after you get all the powers to fully exploit, the puzzle possibilities of them. Even though the ending of the game is, like, quite fucking long, you keep feeling like you're getting to the end, and it's just like, there's more. It just keeps going.
I'm always in two minds about that feeling, right? You know that feeling where you think you're getting to the end of the game and go, right, this must be the last bit. And then you realise it's like, no, this was just the precursor to the last bit, which was also the precursor to the next last bit.
Yeah.
And it keeps going for way longer than you expect. I don't know if I like that feeling, but the other side of me is like, yeah, man, but again, you're getting this is good value for money, right?
Yeah.
It's like there's an argument in my brain about as like more game is good versus is the pacing good here?
Yeah.
If I'm thinking that.
I mean, maybe it would be better if I hadn't been trying to 100% everything as I went. Like, because what I was generally doing is the list of bananas is in more or less the order that you travel through the level. So if you've missed one, you can look at the 2 on either side of it and say, it's approximately over here.
I mean, that's kind of helpful.
That is kind of helpful. Or you could just go to the shop and buy the map that will make it appear on the map.
Oh, right, right.
Or if you want to, you can turn on one of the bonanzas that destroys a bunch of terrain, equip the tie that gives you a bonus to treasure, like how often the treasure chests spawn, and just like bash through rock for 10 minutes, constantly spawning treasure chests until you've got all the maps. Which, that's an option if you don't have the money to just buy them.
Huh. I mean, that's interesting.
But yeah, if you're doing everything like that, it's like I wasn't finding it hard to pick the vast majority of them up just naturally in like linearly as you travel through the level. It's like, oh, there's one there. Oh, there's one there. Oh, there's one there. You just like jump from one to each one as you go, and it's fairly obvious. And then I'd come to the end and miss like 2 or 3 of the 50 odd bananas on the level, and the like 10 of the fossils because they're a bit more obscure. Obviously, they can be stuck on a wall anywhere.
Right.
But then then I'd go back, clean all that up, 100% the level, buy everything out of the shop, and then move on. So maybe the ending is slightly better if you don't do that, and you just like go towards the end objective.
Right. Yeah. You mainline it a bit,
especially because right at the like, I guess second to last level, it breaks it into a lot more of the sub levels, and because the fossils are for the whole level, not the sub levels. So even when you find a mapping, it'll be like, oh, that was like 5 sub levels ago, so I better teleport back up there and go get that, and then teleport back to where I was, and then continue. It kind of breaks the flow in that way, but you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. But yeah, now I've just started the post game, but I haven't really seen any of that yet. It's looking much like Mario Odyssey's post game, where like you go back to every world and there's like 10 extra bananas.
There's more stuff, yeah. But maybe these will be a bit more involved.
Yes, maybe we'll get to like the dark side and darker side from Odyssey, where these are the hard levels.
But holy crap, those were hard.
Yeah.
Like I didn't do those. Like I couldn't do those. Some of those were really, really tough.
Yes, we'll see if they actually do that in this game, because I haven't seen any hint that there's going to be those like physical extra levels. It's just like the banana list has all the gaps in it now, where it's like go back to the places you've already been, and those could still be hard. It could be like you go into the shrines or whatever. Well, I don't know if they're going to add extra shrines, because those are kind of in the world, obviously. I guess they could change the geometry.
They could just turn up.
And those shrines are obviously exactly equivalent to like the Mario Odyssey hat doors, right? You go in there and there's like
a special challenge.
Yeah, here's the specifically laid out puzzle room thing. Except in this case, it's 3 bananas rather than 2 moons.
Okay, yeah.
Although even then, it's still kind of obvious where it's like, here's the first one, the way you just do the thing a little bit and you get the first banana, and then there's the banana at the end for doing the whole thing, and there's the hidden one that's somewhere off on the side. Basically the same as Mario Odyssey's layout, except with 1 extra. And then you have the fight rooms, which are not really anything. They are more puzzly, I suppose. It's actually not very much about fighting. It's like it's not about like it's not a Batman thing where you're like perfecting the combat or whatever. It's more like how do you even fight these enemies?
Oh.
All these enemies are made of concrete, and this is before you have the Bananza power to solve that problem. So what do? You have to go around and pick up all the explosives that are in the environment in 30 seconds.
Right. Do they like pay you back in those environments if you came back to them later?
No.
Like, so if you had the Bonanza power, it'd just be like, just do that.
You can just go back and do those real easily. In fact, that is one of the major problems with the Kong Bananza that you get immediately, is that it does kind of trivialise a lot of the fighting in those ones, where they are just fighting.
See, that's a shame. Like, I really wish they would, like, find an excuse to take that away from you.
They weirdly do the opposite, where there are a few of the shrines where you can only enter them if you're in a Bonanza power, and then it locks you into that power for the whole thing.
Okay, right. So, in a way, that is doing a limitation.
Yeah.
But in a... Because that sounds, from your description, that sounds like in a way, what this game really needs is perhaps a little more restraint.
Yes, it needs to restrict you to limit your actual ability to do things, I guess.
To make more of a game out of it.
Although again, that would also run into the problem that like Donkey Kong just doesn't have as an advanced moveset as Mario does, so you can't even design the puzzles around the movement as much as you can with Mario.
But then it's the Mario team, right? So it's not like they don't have a track record for coming up with fun gimmicks.
Well, sure. But that is the whole... This game is the one fun gimmick of breaking shit.
and let's try and get this out of like classic Happy Salad review territory for a bit. Is the breaking shit at least good?
I mean, Yeah, I suppose.
Because that's what you.
I don't think we got out of the territory there.
I mean, it's like you're tunneling through the terrain to get to these things, but there's no. It's kind of aimless, I guess. Well, it's always aimless in being precisely aimed. You use the sonar, you see the thing, you dig in a straight line to it, but there's no reason to like excavate things in a specific way, except in some of the puzzle rooms, I guess, where it is like if you have to dig out the train a specific way to make a ramp or whatever using your punching, but those are pretty rare. So yeah, that's that game. I'll probably finish the post game, maybe if I can maintain any momentum, because I feel like once I actually got to the end, I was like, that's far too much of this game that I've just played.
Right. But it's probably a pretty good sign that it. I mean, maybe it doesn't mean anything because it's you.
Yeah.
But like that you have just been able to binge that much since it came out. You know, you didn't feel necessarily the need to take breaks.
Well, somewhat. Although, there was a tiny amount of an element of being like, I can actually get this done before the podcast. So I can finish the game to the credits before the podcast. So there was, towards the end, there was a little bit of a, I'm just going to grind this last bit out.
Right, yeah. A bit of fatigue. Potential.
Yeah. And obviously not going to say any spoilers, but the ending does have some cool elements to it at least.
Oh, nice.
But then so did Odyssey. Right?
Well, yeah.
It's sort of...
Yes, the whole
had some fun
getting to
sequences.
the moon and stuff in Odyssey was kind of the cool bit.
Yeah. I don't know how I feel about it, given how you've described it. Like, would I have preferred an Odyssey 2? Because if that's what...
Like a Galaxy 2.
Yeah.
Just more Odyssey.
Would I have preferred that over a Donkey Kong? Over them trying something different but ending up back in the Odyssey formula, if you know what I mean. Like, I don't know how I feel about that description of it.
I wonder if they've really spent all of their resources on this in this time,
right?
Whether they are working on a Mario game.
Because even like when Digital Foundry looked at this thing as well, like from a technical perspective, they're like they ultimately came down like, other than the terrain deformation, like on a technical level, this isn't really a leap from Odyssey. There isn't anything new going on here. Or at least that was my summary of what they said, ultimately. Like, they're not using any of the Switch 2's new, upscaling. They're not using DLSS or anything like that. It seems very much like they just took what the Odyssey engine could do and then added the deformation to it. So, like, what else have they been up to? Like, there must be more to it than this. Like, I kind of agree with your statement, Dan, that like perhaps this can't have been what that team was working on in isolation. Maybe there's something else going on.
Yeah, but hard to say how far along they'll be with.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I mean, Nintendo teams have. I mean,
they're pretty isolated normally. Like,
yeah, but like, I'm sure it took a lot more, just manpower to make the recent Zelda games compared to even the previous generation of Zelda games, for example. So, I don't know. Maybe they're getting better at scaling up their ambitions,
Sure. I mean, and it's entirely possible that, like, the time was spent on prototyping, right? They just took a really long time to figure out how to make Donkey Kong busting through a wall feel good. Like, and that there wasn't actually that... They weren't scaled up for a while, but is I guess what I mean.
Yeah, it could be.
And in many respects, if that is true, fair play. It's like there is definitely something to
innovation
to that. Like, take your time to come up with something actually good rather than just making a game because you need to make a game. At least from a consumer's point of view, and I guess, and I suppose it helps Nintendo's perceived value. We're so much better than everyone else. View that they have of themselves, if they're able to work that way.
Yeah, I feel like it could have done with being slightly less Mario Odyssey. That is the problem of it being Mario Odyssey. Like, is that like
It reminds you of Mario
It
Odyssey.
reminds you of Mario Odyssey, and it feels like they're not, exploiting the potentials that Donkey Kong has. Like, he punches shit, and that is the new thing. But, like, what else could he be doing? He doesn't have a coconut gun any longer. It doesn't fire in spurts. If it shoots you, it doesn't hurt, because it doesn't exist.
I will admit, having played a little bit of Bonanza and a little bit recently of Odyssey again,
Yeah.
that I'm kind of tempted to just play Odyssey again.
Yeah, I can see it.
Wow. Yeah.
Especially in like 60 hertz or whatever.
Yeah.
Sure,
With the patch. It would be a bit. Well, I mean, it always ran at 60, right? That Odyssey never had that problem.
Sorry. I mean, it's a resolution, isn't it? But
Yeah,
it is better.
It got a resolution bump, and it got a lot of LOD bumps. Oh, and that.
Yeah.
I've already forgotten the technical term for it, but is it animation?
Decimation.
Decimation. Yes, that's it. That's the word I was looking for. Animation decimation doesn't happen in the Switch 2 patch, so
that's good. That super annoys you.
Yeah, I find it hugely irritating.
It is weird. Like, didn't you get that in Halo?
Well, not in original Halo, right? Because the whole game ran at 30, so there was nothing to decimate too. But I think when the first versions of Master Chief Collection came about, they had a hard time getting that right.
Right.
And then fixed it. Like, the pacing of the animations was well off compared to the frame rate the game was running at. Like, not even consistent 60. Like, if you're running it at 60, it was like an animation frame every 2 frames. That wasn't even right. If you see what I mean, it was inconsistent at launch. But anyway, yeah. BioShock was the one that annoyed me the most with that. Right, when I played the PC version of that, like, it was running at a nice smooth 60, but all the physics in the world ran at 30. And it was like, ugh, this looks horrible. I don't know if they fixed that up for the definitive editions and the remaster they did later. I would hope so. But yeah, no, it really bothers me. Animation decimation sucks. Like,
That was Donkey Kong.
Donkey Kong. Is the DK rap in there somewhere?
Well, as I said, it's got that like cut down version where it doesn't have the actual rap part. It just has the sting or whatever, which plays when you're at your like getaway house thing.
Right. Is there any indication what happened to any of the other Kongs?
Well, Diddy Kong and Dixie Kong turned up.
Right. Well, we kind of knew that, yeah.
From the trailer. And,
what about?
I guess I can't really spoil the
Okay. Fine.
the overarching timeline aspect of this whole thing.
Okay, yeah. We get to witness the birth of Lanky Kong.
That would have been cool. So the other thing I played briefly, well, the second thing I played, I guess, sticking to Switch 2 first, is I also played a tiny bit of Tears of the Kingdom because I got a new phone.
Hey! Oh, so you've been trying Zelda Notes?
Yep. I was like, since I have this phone that can actually do this now, I can try this dumb thing.
Oh my god, right, okay. I could not be more hype for how bad this is going to sound, I'm sure.
Well, I mean, my actual major problem is not with the actual thing, it's a me problem, which is that because I'm playing my Switch at my desk and I have my headphones plugged into it, I have my phone then, I'm like, how do I hear my phone? For all the noises, like the voice memories and the GPS thing it's saying and all that stuff that's coming out of it.
Yeah, because you're already wearing a headset.
So what I'm doing is the thing that I do when we're recording videos, when I'm recording videos from home, where I'm wearing a second pair of headphones under my headphones that are plugged into my phone.
Right.
Wow.
Which solves the problem really dumbly, but I mean, I guess it is a solution. But yeah,
That's quite funny.
I deleted the second save and started it over again because that save hadn't really got anywhere. It only just got off the Great Sky Island. So I was like, let's go back in fully with Zelda Notes turned on and see what it's at, see if that enhances the experience or whatever. And, the voice memories are the one interesting bit, really.
So yeah, what is that? Is that literally extra like audio logs?
Yes,
effectively,
it is just audio logs that you can only see via the phone, basically. Because they don't appear on the regular map in game, of course. They only appear on the phone version of the map.
Right.
And it has like a Sheikah sensor-esque ping thing to tell you when you're getting near to them or whatever. Or you can just look at the map icons, I guess, because it just shows them if you turn them on the map. But yeah, those are just like little extra lore snippets from various characters talking about shit in the world. And it's actually, sort of interesting for the extended lore-ness of it.
Lordness.
It's kind of funny, like when you're on the Sky Island at the start, the first time you get to one of the Zonai dispenser machines,
Yeah.
it has like an extra voice log from Raru about it, and he's like, this is super inefficient, and our civilization is usually built on efficiency rather than this random crap. And then he speculates that the dispensers were actually made by like an even more ancient civilization before the Zonai.
Oh, wow. So even the Zonai are standing on the shoulders.
Yeah, they're like, we just use these because they're convenient, not because they're very efficient. But they were just here.
Okay.
But it's just like, that's the kind of cool part of it, where it's just like this extra lore stuff. But then...
Yeah, that does sound neat. But I kind of wish that was just in the game.
Yes, obviously. It would just be nice if they patched that into the game instead.
With the damn, like, as part of the patch you buy, maybe that should be content that's in there.
Yeah. But then, of course, the other thing about it is, the map where you can just turn on all the Koroks and just see where they all are and just go directly to them.
Is that just revealed?
Yeah.
Like, you don't even have to get to a certain point where it's a...
Well, you have to have collected at least one.
Okay, I kind of hate that, because then it's like, what's the point in the Korok sensor and all that stuff?
Exactly.
Like...
I mean, I would probably use that on my main save for if I was trying to get 100%, because I've already got like 400 or 500 of them just from playing that game normally in my main save. So if I wanted to try and get the other 400, I guess, it's like I probably would turn that on just to make it easier to clean them up. But when you're playing the game from the start and you can just look at the map and see where all the Koroks are and just, if you want to, you can turn on the stupid shitty voice GPS to direct you directly to them. Which I found, it's really awkward because the voice is like, go slightly northeast. And I'm like, what the fuck direction is northeast?
Don't you have a compass?
If you have the HUD, you've got the compass.
You have it on the mini-map, right? But then it's whether you have the map set to rotate or not. So you have to be looking at either the top of the map or the direction the compass arrow on the outside of the map is pointing. It's not super obvious what direction northeast is just inherently. Because you've never had to think about that before, I guess, in playing the whole of Zelda. But yeah. And it also has the same problem as the other, like the sensors in game, where it's like it will tell you to move slightly northeast, and then when you move slightly northeast, it says move downwards. It's like, great. Well, where the fuck is it then? it could be anywhere directly below me.
Right. So I guess it's not really adding much more than the sensors.
Yes, it is just another version.
It's just
sensor.
longer distance, I guess.
Yes, it is super long distance. And that doesn't just apply to Koroks. You can pin, all kinds of shit on that map, including other things that, you can pin Addison and find all them. Find all the signposts.
Oh, so you can actually see...
where he is, yes.
So you can finally see if you've 100%ed that.
Which also, that was another thing that I did before I started the new save. I also loaded up my old save and went into the Zelda notes as well. And it doesn't remember everything. Like there's a little question mark thing on the stats page where it's like these are the stats that it recorded since the game came out, and these are the stats that it only started tracking after like the 1.4 patch or whatever.
Oh, right.
Or 1.6 or what? Like there was a patch where they were building the groundwork for this in the future or whatever, so not all the stats are tracked. So even if you load a save game where you've done everything, it won't think you've done everything. But I loaded up my main save. It's like, I've done like 98% of the Addisons.
Oh, okay, so that wasn't bad.
Yeah.
What? That means there must be how many left? Like
2 or 3, I guess.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say that there's another 200 or something. There's so many.
Not the Addisons, right?
There's so many of them.
Yeah, there's quite a lot.
But yeah, so if I wanted to complete my main save, you can turn on the tracking for all the different shit. I think it even tracks. I think it it definitely tracks side quests, which would make that way easier because there's a lot. I figure there's quite a few side quests I missed because it's like you just have to talk to a guy somewhere.
Yeah.
Whereas like that would be useful to have the tracking for that. And then there's also, I haven't tried it, but it says it can direct you to like specific enemies and stuff. And obviously that would be good if you're after the compendium completion. Where it's like, I need a fucking red moblin or whatever, and I don't know where those still exist in the world. So turn that on in the tracker, maybe. But yeah, I was only really more interested in the voice logs. But then the question then is, do I continue this new save and get the voice logs in the natural order that you'd get them playing through the game, or do I just load my main save and just teleport around and get them all? Is it that important to get them in a logical order, or a reasonably logical order? Probably not. I mean, the ones on the Skyline, maybe. Get them first. Or the Raru ones. I don't know if his ones, because I haven't looked at the voice memories map in my main save, so I don't know if Raru has more voice memories outside the starting island. I get the feeling that it's actually split to sky, land, and depths, so he might have other ones on other sky islands, but most of them are on the starting island, maybe. But then it's like Zelda on the surface and a third character related to the depths in the depths. Sure. I think you can know which one it is, which makes those voice logs very interesting to potentially hear.
That could be fun. Is the notes integration only available in the patch? Like, or does the existence of Zelda notes still work on?
I would assume it's linked to the upgraded
so you
version
have to
because it's a menu option in that version of the game.
Right.
It's like where the Amiibo option is, but now there's just also the Zelda notes button or whatever to turn it on and off and sync it up. And obviously you have to sign in with your Nintendo account or whatever to have it all linked up, obviously, because it's an app on your phone. But it does update every couple of seconds. It's like if you're looking at the phone version of the map as you're running around, you can see when your arrow rotates or whatever. It's like every couple of seconds it's like boot, boot, as you're moving along. So yeah, that's sort of interesting. I don't know.
Smart glass.
It is very tempting that I might want to play a whole shit ton of Tears of the Kingdom again, but maybe.
I wouldn't put it past you.
It's also actually kind of very tempting that I might want to play the whole of Breath of the Wild again, because that has Zelda Notes integration as well.
Yep.
Oh, does it? Oh.
And I think that has voice logs as well, doesn't it?
Would you do Master Mode again?
Oh, I don't know about Master Mode again. That's maybe a bit much.
Yeah.
Doesn't make it that much more difficult, it just makes it annoying at the start, but I don't think I need to suffer that much more. Also because I'd want to do the Trial of the Sword again, and don't want to do that in Master Mode.
No.
That just makes that even more fucking hard than it already is. And I wonder if the voice logs extend to the what is essentially the DLC content, right? The Trials of the Sword stuff. And the extra shrines and the extra divine beast and whatnot.
Do you get notes in the shrines?
I don't know, I hadn't. Well, not in the free on the starting island in Tears of the Kingdom. It's I haven't been into any of the other ones to see, of course.
Apologies if you can suddenly hear lawnmower action.
Yep.
My neighbour has decided a Sunday night is the time you should be mowing your damn lawn.
It's not even night yet.
Well, evening-ish, yeah.
It's a perfectly normal time to mow a lawn.
I don't know about that.
It's a weekend and it's still light out. And it's not past 11 o'clock. That's Tears of the Kingdom. That's what I played on that much. Not very much. Again, I keep... Now that I've restarted this second save again, I still want to do the experiment with the weird sequence breaking stuff. I still want to see what happens if you go immediately to the end without doing any of the actual other quests. But that is going to require, as I said before, getting a whole bunch of shrines done to have any amount of health. Because I couldn't handle it on just 4 hearts. So, if I wanted to do that, it would require some time to actually get some amount of shrines. It would probably be pretty efficient. Oh, and I was...
It's your time to shrine.
Yep. I was also very tempted to try a thing that I'd heard some people talking about of doing a like no paraglider run. Just like never do the quest to get the paraglider and see how much you can do. But that sounds more like of a pain in the ass than actually fun.
Yeah, that's like they just call it the Zelda of Yore run.
And so that was why.
I've nearly got all the shrines.
Oh yeah, how close are you now?
I think I'm at like 149.
Oh, pretty close. Like 3 to go.
Yeah. I managed to find one like in one of those like orbs in the sky that was just spinning around.
The eyeballs.
No, I think I got that one. Yeah.
Also, there was one. I was telling Rob there was one where I was supposed to activate the switch at the bottom and then use the like big fans that were activated to like glide up to the top of this sky island. But instead, naturally, I climbed the whole thing without the wafting fans. And then like there was a grate that needed the switch to be activated. God damn it. Anyway, standard. Yeah, I'm getting there.
So
I think I've got my.
Is your plan to go straight to the end after you've got these last 3 shrines?
Yeah, well, I've got... Because I'm actually farming the Lionel that's in the depths on the way to the end.
Right.
Like every blood moon to get the guts or whatever. Because I'm upgrading the Fierce Deity armor set, whatever. Which is like the increased attack.
So you've now seen the beginning of the end, I guess.
Yes.
You've got to the bit where the music starts playing.
Yeah. Well,
did it immediately stop if you looked to pick up a flower?
No, fortunately.
It's not Red Dead Redemption.
Well, I found the ending of the game by accident, of course, because it's of course if you start going down that tunnel, you just keep going. It just keeps going, and you're like, "What the heck is this?"
Yeah.
It's like, oh, it's the end of the game. I was telling Rob I was worried about the problem that I had at the end of Breath of the Wild, where I worked really hard to get the best armor in that game, which was like the ancient armor, and then but it looks really dumb, and then all the sequences at the end of the game, which naturally I was using the best armor for, I look really stupid with that big thing on my head.
Yes.
And I thought, oh, that's going to happen in this one because the Fierce Deity armor has like white glowing eyes, so you look like
at least you look vaguely like Link.
Yeah, you look a bit more Link-like. But I found a workaround where I got the diamond circlet thing or whatever from the Gerudo Tam, which also increases attack.
Oh, right, yeah.
But you don't look dumb.
Not part of the set, though.
No, so you lose the set bonus. But the set bonus, I don't know, it's like increased
Fierce Deity is just might, isn't it? It's just the equivalent of eating a might meal.
Yeah, if you but it's like each part increases your attack.
Right, yeah.
But then the set bonus is some bonus to, I think, the charge attack, or maybe it's the flurry rush.
Or is it the sword beam?
No, that's just a master
I know
sword
that's inherent,
thing, isn't it?
yes, but is that upgraded? I think there's an armor set that does that. I don't know.
Maybe.
That one.
I always forget to use that.
Well, who's going to use that? When are you ever going to be in exactly perfect health, really?
Yeah, it's true. So I think I've got all the upgrades I need there. So
well, I can tell you
what else.
for an incredibly not spoiler, but there are some of the sequences at the end of the game do remove parts of your armor, so you can actually just see Link.
Oh, okay.
So
well, that's good to hear.
You don't have to super 100% worry about that.
Okay,
not all of them,
they thought of it. Okay. Well, that's quite good because that was annoying at the end of.
It's quite good, but also kind of weird where it's like, why is he suddenly naked?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they write that in. There's I think I may have mentioned this before, but it's an option right at the start of Clair Obscure Expedition 33 where you can choose whether you want the costumes you're wearing to appear in cutscenes.
Right.
And it's like, because they sort of, and they even put a little comment there saying like, it's just a bit of fun though, isn't it? So if you want to mess it up, like you can, but if you're worried about that kind of stuff, then you can turn it off. But I left it on because who doesn't want to see like French baguette ladies?
Yep, exactly.
In the
you want it to be dumb in that game.
You want it to be dumb.
Yeah. So yeah. I got one. I upgraded one of the sages with those stupid sages wheels things that I didn't even know were a thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. It doesn't seem worth it to go around trying to find those.
No, I mean, you barely use most of the stations most of the time anyway.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't know which one to pick. I just picked Tooling because that's the one I always have out for just for wafting around. I was hoping for an upgrade to the gust because that's the most useful thing that I use the most. It's just the boost when I'm gliding. But she does occasionally headshot things, so well, not a headshot, but
Crit them.
I know that. Arrow them a bit. Yeah. So I think I'm nearly there. I'll probably do the ending, unless there's anything else that I need to do. I don't think so, really.
No,
I cleaned out all the side quests that I had open, but I'm sure there's tons where I just didn't talk to anyone.
Yeah, didn't talk to the guy.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think I'm pretty much there.
And you're probably not going to go for 100% wells or anything, I presume.
No, I'm not. I was like, when I got that quest, I was like,
are they
oh,
on
for
the
God's
notes?
sake.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Oh, are they? Oh, I could use the notes thing to do the wells. Yeah, I haven't got good completion on wells.
Caves? Are they on notes as well?
bubble
Caves,
gems.
yes,
Bubble
Oh, wow,
gems.
so,
Bubble gems.
so basically notes just gives you everything.
Yeah. I mean, yes.
The keys to the kingdom.
Right. Yeah, well.
Maybe that's why
that
it's
is
on the
thing
app.
to do.
Like,
Yes.
so to make it more like you have to jump through a hoop if you really want this cheat guide.
I'm guessing it does like, well, maybe you can tell me, but it does like Breath of the Wild, where when you finish the game, it just sets you back before you finished it,
Yeah.
does it?
Just puts you at the entrance to the point of no return or whatever. And then you
Right.
can teleport out.
Right, and then you just carry on completing things or not, as
And,
the case may be.
the classic, you reappear at the entrance to the point of no return, but somehow you mysteriously have photographs of the final boss.
Yeah. Okay.
If you gained anything during that sequence, do you still have it?
I don't know what it does to your inventory. I assume you don't get it. Well, you don't. I guess in Tears of the Kingdom specifically, you don't really have any chance for things to be dropped in that whole thing. Because in Breath of the Wild, there was like extra weapons and stuff that happened during that boss fight as a precaution in case you didn't have any weapons, basically.
Right.
But they got rid of that in this one. I think they just assumed that you're probably going to be good. I don't know if you could even fight.
I need to get some. I never cook any like anti-gloom stuff.
Yes, that is the one specific part of the game where you're probably going to want some of that right at that end.
Yeah, because otherwise you've like lost all your health even before you get to the end from all the fucking Lionels and shit.
Or
on the way.
You also might want like the underground armor, the mining armor, just to give you that
Some
one
glow.
extra heart. No, it's the gloom resistance or whatever, where you get that weird blue heart that gets taken first
Right.
if you're running over gloom.
Gotcha.
That's attached to the armor.
I think I did use that for a bit.
That can be useful.
Yeah, maybe I should find that armor set then. I think I've got parts of it, maybe.
Yeah, you've probably got at least one of
The
them. I
depths. Yeah,
guess.
I've got one part or something. Yeah, I really haven't revealed very much of the depths, light root style. It's looking pretty patchy.
Yeah.
But I suppose now I can use that. Well, whatever.
Yeah, you can do that on the app as well. Not that you need to, because if you've found all the shrines, then you know where all the lights
Yeah,
are.
you know where they are. They're just underneath. Yeah.
Aside from the ones that are on the because it's only shrines on the land, right?
Yes.
The shrines
Yeah.
in the
Oh, yeah,
Sky
the
Islands
ones
don't
that
count.
Islands don't count. Yeah. Yeah. It's weird because there are some shrines that are like not on the land, that are not near any others at all. So they reveal tons of map.
Yeah.
On the in the depths. Zelda.
Yep.
It's a good game.
It is.
I still like Breath of the Wild. I still wish that like a couple of things. I still find the enemy encounter music annoying in Breath of the Wild and totally fine in Tears of the Kingdom. I wish I could swap that out. Anyway.
Nintendo's got you covered there. It's called the Nintendo Music app.
But then you can't run the Zelda notes. Well, maybe you can switch apps. I don't know how if it retains the sync if you switched apps.
I don't know. You're an iPhone user. Do iPhones do the thing that iPad OS can do, where you can run two apps side by side if the apps are compatible with that?
Not really.
No. Okay. So maybe that's not an iPhone thing.
Well, they can maybe play audio.
background it.
Cross each other, yeah.
Nintendo app probably backgrounds. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't bet on it. Like.
No, I suppose you're right.
That sounds like the exact dumb failure of Nintendo making a music app. Making you forced to stay in the app to keep it playing.
You must watch this progress bar. Watch this progress
I
bar.
should probably
to hear
download that as well, I guess.
I mean, I got it when it first came out.
You haven't seen all the updates?
No.
All the new songs
I haven't
you
seen
can
it
listen to?
since. I'm missing out on NES Golf Classics.
And then the other thing I played this past couple of weeks is Abiotic Factor hit 1.0. Like they actually said it would. Like on schedule.
Right, and
their ridiculous roadmap turned out to be correct.
And it launched on Game Pass as well.
Sure, as you would expect. But yes, we've started again, of course, because, well, sort of for reasons in this case where they did do some rebalancing and add some more stuff to the early game, so it was like, there's an obvious reason to restart, and also we hadn't played it for a long time, so it's like, do we even remember what the fuck we were doing?
Right, yeah.
But yeah, that there are still some things about that game where it's like, if you don't know in advance, it might kind of be awkward. Like, well, the default settings for like how fast you lose food and water is like way too easy. Like, and it's extra dumb because the main food stuff that you can cook in like the cooking skill is soup, and the different soups give you different buffs. So it's like, oh, this soup increases your XP gain in melee or whatever. But because you drain food and water so slowly, there's no need for you to eat the soup to get the buff. So a lot of the time you just don't have the buff because your food bar hasn't gone down far enough for you to want to drink the soup and get the buff again.
Yeah.
So but fortunately that is an option that you can just change in like the save settings. Like, you can change it at the start of the game, but when you load a game, you can also just get back into that menu and edit the settings there. So you can just be like, turn up the hunger and thirst rate inside that save and then just adjust it. So we did that. And I still think maybe we haven't even turned it up enough. We only turned it up one step, and I think we could probably get away with even going another step higher. Obviously, it's probably a balance issue for, like, multiplayer in terms of how many players there are, because obviously it doesn't auto balance that. It auto balances enemy spawns for how many players there are. So if there's more players in the server, more of the enemy spawns can happen. So when you're in single player, you're going to see like they spawn in the same place, just not all of them do. So it's more sparse.
Okay.
So that's balanced, but then things like food and water usage aren't balanced for multiplayer. So if you're playing in single player, you have an absolute shit ton of food and so many soups that you're never going to be able to consume unless you turn the hunger and thirst rate up. And then the awkwardness of multiplayer also applies to things that you craft that require relatively rare resources. Like, you need to make the hacking device to hack keycard doors, and that uses like CPUs from security robots, which are relatively tough to kill. And, you know, if you're playing in solo, it's just like, oh, you just kill a couple of these robots and you get the CPUs you need to make the hacking device. But if you're playing in even just 2-player multiplayer, now you have to kill twice as many robots to get all the CPUs you need to make all the hacking devices for everyone.
Oh, I see. Right.
Or you just don't, which is what we've been doing, where I don't have a hacking device, I just point out where the doors are and then they come over and hack them for me. Which works if you're sticking together, but, you know, not going to work if we ever split up. Although the keypad doors stay hacked once you've hacked them once. So you don't have to... You only have to catch them while you're doing your initial exploration of an area or whatever. And then there are other things that are slightly awkward in single player, like that one enemy that follows you all the time. So it's
Slenderman's there, you mean?
Yeah, pretty much. That might as well be. But it's basically, once you reach this certain point in the containment labs, You find this empty containment room that has like these X-ray beams pointed at it. And it's like, oh shit, the X-ray shut off and the thing escaped. And then it's this enemy that is only visible to one player at a time, which obviously in single player is always going to be you. Whereas in multiplayer it picks one person at random.
Right.
And it makes like a faint noise as it gets nearer to you, so you can hear it coming. But if you then look at it, it just stays still and then fades away after like 10 seconds. So that's all you have to do to defeat it, basically, is just be aware of that sound effect and then look at it before it gets to you.
But only that one player can do that?
Only that one player can do it. The one player that's currently targeted.
Oh, I see. So it doesn't bother going after the other players.
No.
It's not like that you're trying to save the other players by being the only one that can look at it.
No, it only goes for one person at a time. And then obviously a single player, that's always going to be you. And then it respawns every 15 minutes or so. And like, in order to fight it, like, you can just look at it to make it despawn. But then you also need a drop from it, which you can only get if you then make like an X-ray gun. So you can basically shoot it to make it despawn and drop the drop that it creates when you hit it with the X-rays. So you need to progress a certain amount further through the game to get that. And then supposedly we haven't even got to the point, but there's a way you can make you can make your own sort of semi-permanent containment system for it. So you can basically keep it off you for a longer period of time. But we haven't got to the technology for that. So like in 2-player, it's sort of annoying where you have to be like, oh, it's on me today, pass me the X-ray gun or whatever, so I can actually get the drops that we need to progress. But in single player, it's like, it's always going to be on you, so that's nice in a way that you know it's always going to be there. But it's also like this thing that you're going to have to be constantly dealing with the whole time you're playing, because there's always going to be every 15 minutes it's going to respawn, and then you're going to have to listen for that noise and then look at it. Or shoot it with the X-ray gun, if you have the X-ray gun.
Is it bad if you don't look at it?
Well, it eventually gets to melee range and then does a lot of damage.
Okay.
But yeah, it's sort of annoying. I think it's going to be annoying in single player because of it just being there constantly for so long. Like, you need it to be there for those drops when you have the X-ray gun. But I feel like the fact that we still haven't got to the point of having the containment unit as much further past that point as we've got in multiplayer, I feel like that would be nice to get a bit sooner, because it is just annoying. It's just annoying to have to deal with. It's always going to be there. You always have to listen for it. Even when you're just sitting in your base, like doing crafting or whatever. Yeah, pretty much. You can build a stationary turret version of the X-ray gun. So basically you could have that like cover you if you're at a crafting station or whatever. Just set it up looking in the general direction, so if it starts coming up behind you, it gets caught.
Oh, so you could... Right. It wouldn't kill it, presumably, but it would start shooting it.
Yeah, it would just despawn it again.
Something's there.
Yeah. But yeah, that's one of those slightly awkward things where it's like, in multiplayer that's slightly less annoying, but still kind of annoying. But it's one of those things you have to deal with. And yeah, we've just got through the containment area again, looked at all the funny logs of all the weird shit that's in their containment building. The table that everyone hates, and the perfectly normal shotgun that is said that it was anomalous at some point, but it's not, and you can just grab it and then you use it as a shotgun. But maybe it's going to be weird later on.
Maybe. But maybe not.
Maybe. And then the one other problem that we've run into again, and I've run into when I've been playing it solo, is the map design is like really nice in that like everything is interconnected, so you're constantly opening like back routes that loop back around.
Okay.
So as you explore an area, you get to the end and you find a door
shortcut,
that lets you open it from that side that leads back to the start or whatever.
Cool. Yeah.
But the problem with that is that it basically railroads you into building your base in the exact same place every time, which is like the main center hub of the areas.
Yeah.
Because like, why would you not build it there? You're just going to inconvenience yourself if you build it anywhere else. And then that kind of makes it less interesting to deal with like the base defense aspects when the swarms of enemies come or whatever some nights. you always know where everything's going to come forward and that kind of thing. Which is sort of unfortunate, but then again, the base defense is kind of naff anyway. The enemies are kind of dumb and not actually very dangerous. Or at least, I suppose we haven't progressed far enough in the game to get the more dangerous enemies to spawn. It's like when it's 1 or 2 military dudes coming at you, or 1 or 2 alien dudes coming at you, it's like, that's basically nothing. Just punch them. Punch them with your science fists. I guess we haven't had any fist-based weaponry yet. It's mostly just sledgehammers or spears. And a crowbar, if you want a crowbar.
Gotta have a crowbar.
Gotta have a crowbar. Or crowbar Mark II, if you make the advanced one. Which for some reason isn't even an upgrade from crowbar Mark I. It's just a completely new thing that you make with different materials.
Okay. It's Crower.
Yep. It's basically just spiky. It's got some spikes on it.
We took some nails and we shoved it into this baseball bat.
Yep, more or less. So yeah, we've been playing quite a lot of that, and I imagine we're going to continue playing that. Hopefully get through all of it. It is still... The thing I've been finding really annoying about it is that because it's an Unreal Engine game, my computer just gets very hot because it's not, it's not holding back. It's just like everything's going to go up to maximum.
Well, yeah, but is it like...
As in it's badly optimized or whatever.
Right. Weird.
Even though it's, this Half-Life 1-esque looking game.
That's slightly odd.
I mean, it still has shaders and stuff. They're trying to do some fancy things, but...
I mean, is it not frame limiting on your system? Is it like...
Well,
just
I've got
like
it VSync, so it's running at my monitor, which is like 160, so, it's quite a lot of frames.
But that's still... For the game, the way that game looks, that shouldn't really be taxing.
Yeah, well... Sort of. I don't know. It's like, does the number of polygons matter that much any longer, really? Or is it just the literal pixel resolution that's more important?
Well, yeah, I guess post effects and the various lighting that could be applied on it is probably quite expensive in modern render pipeline. And
in this game, obviously, there's quite a lot of lighting because the whole thing is like this abandoned facility where it's all dark and spooky and weird.
Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe like polygon density isn't actually as much of a concern anymore in terms of like,
or on its own at least. Maybe.
Yeah, yeah, interesting.
But yes, it does just. It's very annoying when I sometimes think I'm hearing a noise that's coming from the game where it's like, oh, there's a weird fan noise happening. It's like, oh no, wait, that's just
That is the combination of summer and my Xbox. That thing can get incredibly loud if I've got especially if I make the mistake of having the cabinet closed.
Well, sure. I mean, if you have it in an enclosed space.
Yeah, but it has got like my cabinet's has got a hole in it, right, for ventilation out the back. But yeah, it's still not great. So yeah, you open that door up and it's like, and you're like, oh, okay. It's fine during any other month.
Maybe you need to clean it.
I mean, I did get the I've got one of those air dusters. I did sort of turn that on the vents just to see if that makes a difference. Haven't noticed much difference.
That was all I played, more or less.
Quite a bit.
There was some Rocket League.
How about you, Rob?
I mean, conveniently, I've not been playing all that much this last couple of weeks.
Which means you still haven't finished the one game that you have been playing.
Yeah, exactly. I think there's still loads of Clear Obscure. Well, I think there's loads of Clear Obscure left to do. I don't know, I'm pretty certain it's got a 3-act structure, and I'm still in Act 2. But I'm at the sort of... I'm at the point where, I'm going to try and say this without being too spoilery. I'm doing the thing that feels like it would be the end of the game, right? It's the end of the.
So you're expecting a twist.
I think it's the end of the core story, but there's definitely it's an RPG. That's not going to be it's not going to end where you think it's supposed to end, right? There's going to be. Yeah. Something will happen and it'll open up again in some ways. Mainly because I know there's plenty of areas on the main map I haven't been able to get to. Right. I just don't have the ability to get there, and it's and I don't know if it'd be kind of interesting if that was a whole side ability I just didn't find, and I can't get to those areas because of that. That's kind of bold in terms of game design, I suppose, these days.
Maybe, but that would be weird for balance.
Yeah.
If you'd been through the whole rest of the game and been like basically underleveled because you hadn't done all this extra side stuff.
Yeah. So yeah, the bit I'm in is kind of retreading a lot of the visual styles of the areas I've been in up to this point. Like it's so it's quite a lengthy segment on its own, which feels a bit out of place for this game because it feels like it's been quite well paced up till this point, and this point seems like it feels like a bit of a slog. But it's still fun. The combat's still good and stuff like that. There's just like as far as a dungeon goes, as far as significant dungeon goes, this is most significant so far in terms of, it's a bit longer. Anyway, I got loads of stuff still to do. There's still all this intrigue around like what character is what, who means what on earth the world is. The characters are still sort of saying I don't understand a lot. There's a bunch of that still going on. Facebook is doing its best to spoil me on it.
Well, that was the other reason I sort of went hardcore on the end of Donkey Kong Bananza, because I was seeing a lot of stuff on YouTube. It's like, spoilers are about to be happening.
It's happening. Marzi's very happy about this. It's just, yeah. So I at this point I already know some stuff. I don't, which is annoying, but I don't know how it coalesces. So I think I'm still in the good bit. Like, there's conversations about characters I've not met and things like multiple characters that I've not met and things like that. And it's like, okay, so there's clearly more to this than it seems. And I've seen some stuff about I've seen some screenshots of combat. Like, even just the numbers popping off of things feel like they've been a spoiler at points, because it's like, wait, what? Man. Like, because it's just been like, I've looked at the screenshot and been like, wait, what? How is that possible? And it's like,
can you tell whether that's going to be in the natural progression of the game, or whether that's
a sequence?
Grinding?
Yeah, I don't know, or if it's a New Game Plus thing, because this game definitely has New Game Plus, and maybe some mechanics change as a result of that. I don't know. So. Anyway, it's still got the intrigue is still there. It's still got its hooks in me. So it's succeeding as an RPG needs to for the amount of time it asks of you. I'm at about 40 hours of gameplay now. So it's, if you think how long it's taken me to get to 40 hours, and Zach just bonanzas it in like a week.
Bonanzas it, yeah.
2 weeks technically. It was more or less direct.
Immediately after the last podcast, yeah. So I'm still doing a bit of that. I went back to Balatro for a little bit as well, like
because we made a video about it.
Because we did a video about it, yeah. So it got me into it. And I realised I had never played the plasma deck, and that was the one you've done the most of, right? So I hadn't even tried it.
Kind of easy.
Well, I'm kind of struggling with it, to be honest, because it's like the normal tactics don't really apply.
Sure, I mean you do have to modify your tactics.
Yeah,
it is different.
Like being a chip heavy deck is actually quite a good
valid,
strategy,
basically.
Yeah. So if you haven't got to that, I mean, mild spoilers, I suppose, but if you haven't got to this point in Balatro, the plasma deck takes your chip count and your multiplier count, takes the total number that those two numbers add up to, essentially, and balances either side. So it's always like a square, what you're getting out. So, I don't know, simple example, if you've got like 50 times 2, that total number is 52. So it then becomes 26 times 26, right? It splits that 52 total number across both sides of the score total. But then that kind of messes up the meta. It really changes the meta, like, because you can't just rely on using multipliers and then the motes, as we ended up calling it. I mean, you still can. That still is a strategy, but like that, the effectiveness of that is way later than it would normally be.
But it is easier in general to get higher scores early, which is also why the debuff of that deck is it makes the score targets higher by itself.
Doubles them. Yeah, it doubles the score targets on every level. So yeah, I've struggled to get off the ground a little bit with that, but it's It's interesting enough. It's probably the biggest twist I've encountered in the Balatro space, right? In terms of how I've got to think about this mechanically.
I mean, that definitely was the deck where it was like, I'm finally using the pure chip jokers more.
Yeah.
Because it's like, they're actually worthwhile, especially in the early game.
Yeah, they're crazy effective at the start.
That gives you anything that just gives you like plus 50 chips.
Any of the
gets you through like the first 3 antis, no problem.
Any of the foils, I ended up going for. Well, what was I was working on it was basically a 2-pair deck, but I'd managed to really pare down the deck.
Oh right.
So I'd like only had like queens and 7s. Weirdly, that's how it worked out that I was going for. But and most of those I'd made into bonus cards. A few of them were foils, so it was like super chip heavy, but really didn't matter in this scenario because it balanced out pretty well and got me through the first 8 pretty easy. Struggled immediately after that, like as soon as you get the real late game ramp ups. Sure. It's like I couldn't scale that thing up with how I'd ended up. But the deck that worked getting to 8 was pretty easy. But it's taken me a while to get into a state that's comfortable through the mid. The mid is where it gets tricky. Anyway, so a bit of Balatro. And my super side foray this time was, I just, every now and then I do just, if I'm near one, I will just breeze by a CEX, just poke my head in and be like, what's some weird stuff that I can find in here today? What
have you found?
So I picked up, for a eye-watering £2 British pounds, I suppose, not English pounds. Like, I guess it is English pounds, right? Because the design is different, I suppose.
But what if they weren't? Did you look at them?
I did not know because I didn't pay with actual cash.
Sterling.
Yeah. It's like digital pounds. I picked up a copy of RC Revenge Pro, which, for those in the know, which I don't expect it to be, was actually the sequel to Revolt.
Kind of, I guess.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, you can kind of see it. I mean, it's Acclaim. I think Acclaim Cheltenham made this. Or at least involved with it in some way. I mean, you can see the DNA is there, like it's still remote control car racing. The menus kind of have that same border around the bits of it and stuff like that. It's but boy, that game sucks. It is so much worse than Revolt.
Lol.
Like, not even a little bit. Like
what happened then?
I've been trying to rack my brains just exactly like how to even describe what went wrong here. So I think it doesn't make a good impression straight out of the gate, because it's like, if you think what Revolt was going for, it was pretty realistic, right, in its visual presentation. Like, it was going for RC cars in believable environments.
Yeah.
Everyday environments, I should say. This game doesn't do that at all. Like, the first level is like you're in some like sci-fi space station driving around. And there's one of the levels is a pirate cove. There's like a jungle scape with people in it dancing around at the side of the track. Like, you're no longer like RC cars like being sneaked, being like stealthy races and like getting away with it somehow, and nobody knows what's going on as you cruise around the museum after dark.
I mean, those levels would have worked as like end game levels, whereas like you get
sure,
like Titanic, obviously.
Yeah,
the classic Revolt level.
But even then, that's a boat, right? Ultimately, it's still a boat.
Sure.
There isn't too much. I mean, the toy box level, I guess, is probably the weirdest
that's
one.
Supposed to be a toy store, though, isn't
it? But I guess it's arguably the weirdest one thematically, because it's like no one would build that.
No.
As it is. But it just isn't that. Like, there's one level that's just full on Acme. Like in it's like set on a farm, but with a weird factory, and the floor is a weird warping texture. So the floor doesn't look, but it doesn't affect your driving. It's just a weird warping texture. And then you go outside, and it's like a farmyard, but the trees are all dancing. The sun looks like it came straight out of Samba de Amigo. Like it's a really odd. There's a Halloween level as well, and where the walls are like. The walls are shouting at you or something. So anyway, they've got like there's a lot more animation work, I guess, in that respect. So like I guess I could see why this was a PlayStation 2 game, but it's like it is so far from the premise of Revolt 1. It didn't need to be like remote control cars. It's like that's completely unnecessary to this.
Apart from them being small.
I guess smallish, yeah. But then it's like the track design is crap. Like it's just not nearly as. I mean, it was a bit obscure, I guess you could in Revolt. Like I think it's fair to say Revolt
well, because it was real.
Yeah, I think like it wasn't super intuitive where the tracks went half the time. They required a bit of learning, and that same problem is here. But they're just not fun to drive when you know where you're going. They're not. I think that's compounded by the fact that the simulation, that the actual physics is so simple compared to Revolt, right? It's like it's really dumbed down. And yes, the PC version, I don't know if the N64 version did this as well, actually, but the PC version of Revolt, right, you could pick your physics level.
Yeah.
So I don't know where on that scale this equates, because I think we always just played it on full sim, right? But it's really simple. So it's not super fun to drive either. And even little things like just how you flip your car or how you reposition your car, it's not done as cool. And neither are the power-ups. They're not as cool either. It's like they now like look like these weird glowing cards instead of the lightning bolt thing spinning in the level. They don't make a nice noise. They don't make that cool zoom noise as you pick them up or anything. And even the power-ups you get, they're like the old set, but it's like every single one of them has been made and shitified in some way. Like the only one that
vacation reaches the Revolt.
Yeah,
in the past.
The only one that feels like
past.
somewhat like what it used to is the the fake power up is still there, but there's one that's like you still have there's the electro bolt is there, right? That's still there, right? So your car becomes electrified, and ones get zapped, and they just sort of turn off, right? That was the idea of the old one. But now it's like your aerial goes zappy rather than the whole car, right? They've changed the effect a little bit, so that's still there. That's pretty much the same. And the oil slick is still the same, but it's not nearly as ridiculous as it was in Revolt.
That's
right?
because that's the simulation being turned down.
Yeah, I guess, because it just turned off all friction, didn't it, really, in Revolt, which was... And those pools could stay there for ages in Revolt 1, so you could just put them in a dip somewhere, and no one could get out of the dip because the oil was so strong. It was pretty cool. Really dumb, but pretty cool. The fireworks... They suck balls now. Like there was something about the firework power up in Revolt that was just really cool. Like from the physicsy arc of how it flew and the unreliable nature of that to the concussion like blast it created that pushed the cars around to the sparks and the noise that it made as it flew. It's like everything about the firework in Revolt was rad. And it's now here it's still a rocket, but it somewhat straight lines to the target, and you get like a really like crappy sort of just particles go outwards, the poofy effect when it hits them. And there's no like, and this is again the physics of like you being hit and stuff like just doesn't have that concussive feel that it does in Revolt, right? It's not the same game, man. They did add boat stuff though. There's
micro-scenes.
There's boat stuff that's worse somehow.
Well, if they don't have good physics for cars, they're not going to have good physics for boats.
No, not at all. I can see why this got such... It did get awful reviews, in fairness. It's like I kind of knew what I was getting into, but there's just a bit in my brain that's just like, But Revolt, though, why do people like Revolt and they don't like this? Like, this is the sequel to that. Surely it must be that and then some? It's like, no, it's just bad.
I remember even Revolt didn't get a good review in PC Gamer, which was what I used to read, which is kind of weird.
See, I can kind of believe it because it was like a little. It is a bit inaccessible as a game, right? But they really lent into their theme and they made it work. Like if you got it, if you sort of like were able to accept it on its terms, there is a good game in Revolt. And obviously it was like hugely benefited on the PC side by like it being moddable and it being and the track editor, even the inbuilt track editor and the secret tools like being good enough to make some pretty cool stuff, which is what got us hooked for a long time. But like the realism of the physics and the actual challenge of the challenge of Revolt was getting a handle on the physics.
Yeah,
and it was fun to get a handle on those physics. Yeah, this isn't it. So now I have a copy. Now I own a copy of this.
£2 English.
Use game market that no one wants to.
Yeah, I think this is my forte. Right, this is the finding the cheapest ass games that nobody wants. But might be good. Every now and then you might find something.
What's the percentage on that return so far, though?
Like nothing. I don't know, I bought G-Felice cheap and that was fun. G-Felice was cool.
I think G-Felice is in the same realm of Revolt in terms of like you
cult
have to
following,
understand it in a certain specific way.
Tackle it in a certain way. And even then it's like, it's definitely got some flaws for sure. It's all right. A notification has come up on my phone during this very podcast saying giving me an offer on a copy of Revolt for Dreamcast.
Very good.
Oh, better go for that.
But we've already got. I haven't got the Dreamcast.
No.
The Dreamcast version is the one that eludes me. I've never played that version.
Yeah, exactly. You got to be completist.
Actually, no, that's a lie. There is a PS1 version as well. Which I haven't played. So that was what else I did. I guess the other thing I played was I played Stomach Roulette with Popeye's Chicken.
Oh, good.
It is fine.
So you won, essentially.
I mean, yeah, I survived.
Or
you survived the roulette.
You broke even, maybe.
Yeah.
Not necessarily won.
I mean, I find the description of Popeye's Chicken slightly bizarre, like because we looked at, okay, they have an app that functions, which is like
which is a start.
It's a start, yeah. They're one step up on Taco Bell, at least in this country, I suppose. But like, they don't have like they don't go for KFC's like bucket thing, right? So you can't get big old bucket meals to share between people. That's not a thing. You still buy individual meals, and it's like. It's geared towards you getting a chicken burger of some description with other bits of chicken hanging out in the box. You know, just there. But they're three. They have like wings. They have their tenders, and they also have boneless. Okay, the wings have bones in them. I think I didn't have the wings. I'm not a wings guy generally, but as far as I can tell, they have the tenders and the boneless are both boneless.
Well, yes, obviously.
And the tenders are like breast fillet, but the boneless is just nondescript weird lumps of chicken. They're not like popcorn chicken, which I guess is clearly reformed in like tiny little bits. These are like bollock-sized nuggets.
But is it still reformed?
I guess it's really hard to tell. I don't know. I think it was like I'm trying to work out what the point of it existing is when you can have the tenders.
I mean, if it was reformed, that is the point. Because I would argue that, even in KFC's case, the boneless, which is partially reformed, I would guess.
Yeah, it's fillet, isn't it?
Maybe.
I think it's breast fillet.
It definitely has a different texture to like actual wings in KFC.
Sure. Well, yeah, the actual chicken is different.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then that's not really breast fillet, right? The stuff you're eating legs and
Well, sure. But like, if
Pie,
if
I
we're
guess.
saying that the point of the difference between tenders and chunks is the reconstitutedness of it, that is a different texture.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess.
It's like popcorn chicken. That is still different from
Yeah.
the other KFC stuff.
I found Popeyes to be a very dry and not as flavourful experience.
You like grease, is what you're saying.
I like a little bit, right? Like there's the chicken and the batter. It was the combination of the two. The batter is thicker at Popeyes, which a bit of me was like, oh, I like the sound of that. Except it's not flavoured enough to justify that.
Sufficiently spiced.
There's not enough.
There's not low number of spices.
There's clearly not
Less than
11
11.
herbs and spices in this. There's like maybe 4.
This is Rob the chicken connoisseur in action.
Yeah. So as nice as it is to have a bit of variety, and it's I guess it's really not far from me. This Popeyes, surprisingly, I'd have a KFC.
If you wanted chicken.
If I needed a chicken fix, I'd get a KFC. I'd get that boneless bucket. Boneless meat feast or whatever they call it. Boneless banquet.
Yeah, a boneless meat.
Boneless meat feast.
I mean, pizza.
It's a boneless
A KFC
banquet.
pizza.
Yeah, I think it's called a boneless banquet. That's what the KFC currently call it.
Let's make feast.
We should totally do a boneless meat feast. Order a cheese pizza from Domino's and a boneless bucket from KFC. Put the chicken on the pizza.
Surely you want the popcorn chicken for that,
Well, that's
right?
in the boneless bucket.
It is in the boneless bucket, yeah, but you want the popcorn chicken. The popcorn chicken feels more pizza.
Well, you'd have
ready.
to cut up the boneless.
Yeah,
bits
you'd have to thinly slice your boneless
Although
fillet.
you could get away with if you put the one fillet per slice and just eat it from the end.
I mean, I guess. I mean, you could just wrap the pizza around
Well, sure.
the fillet and have like a KFC calzone.
Yeah. I mean, I think this is the solution if you want to get crazy with pizza toppings, is just order a cheese pizza and put whatever the fuck you want on it.
That'd be true.
Take apart a Big Mac and put that on the pizza.
You could have a
Don't do that.
boneful meat feast.
Yeah, you could have,
You
you
could.
could have a pizza with bones.
Loads of wings on it. Yeah.
I think, the phrase, just by using the phrase boneless, you don't necessarily need to specify the word meat, right? Because it's not like you're going to come out, I'm going to have a
Boneless meatless.
Boneful feast.
Well, I'm gonna have a boned vegetarian, dude. Like, where did these bones come from? Why is my lettuce boned?
Well done.
How many
But then
nutrients do you have to absorb from a bone before it's not vegetarian any longer?
But then, do you think that's a thing? Like, do you have to offer, like, if you're offering someone like a plant alternative of a KFC, like,
You have to make
like,
a
do you need to put like fake
plant-based
bones
bone.
in there in order to get the full experience? Like,
It's just like a chunk of limestone.
are you being discriminatory if you don't have a boned version of your eating
You're not
experience?
getting the proper experience without a bone in there. So
Yeah.
you have to invent a vegetarian bone. Wood carving.
Yeah, it's just wood. Yeah, they put
This sounds like
they put lollipop sticks in
sounds
there.
like a business idea. A really terrible one, but it would be funny.
Robco.
Yep. Robco, I can't say what I was about to say.
I mean, I guess it would be a chicken fucker of some
Yep.
kind, but
Okay, chicken fucker.
I mean, except it wouldn't be chicken. Would it be like?
Processed meat fire.
There's your product.
Plant-based meat alternative fuckery. That's pretty much all I've been doing.
Yes, I guess that was a helpful re-random at the end of this
At
podcast.
the end of the podcast. Yeah.
Did you catch, listener, while you were listening to this podcast, where I already said what the video we recorded was about?
Oh, good segue. Good quizzing.
Did you catch it? What was it?
It was one of the games Rob played.
It might have been Balatro.
Yes.
Balatro.
Although I played it in the video. Not that it really makes much difference who's playing
No,
that
it
game.
doesn't. I guess not.
There's a Balatro video on
Origin.
YouTube.
No, there isn't yet, but it'll be coming.
It's coming.
It'll be coming.
And we got plenty of other videos on YouTube. Just look for the channel Happy Salad. and watch all our Let's Plays of old Rare games and stuff.
Burnout,
Rare old games.
well, or not rare games,
Oh,
but like Burnout 3 was the last one we did, for instance. Not all that unheard of. That hidden gem, Burnout 3.
Burnout 3. Yeah. If you've been stuck playing Paradise because you hadn't had an old console enough to play Burnout 3.
I mean, that must happen, right? People must have been looked at oh, what Burnout game should I play? And then they see all the coverage on it and go like, oh, Burnout Paradise, right? Play it, and then think it's a hunk of shit. And then,
So only you think that, apparently.
and then go, why is everyone so impressed with this game? And it's like it's like, nah, mate, go back and play Burnout 3.
Yeah.
Then you'll get it.
Or watch us playing it on YouTube. If you want to know. And then maybe get inspired. So check that out. And we'll be back here with another one of these Saladcasts. In 2 weeks' time. So we'll catch you then.
Alrighty.
Bye.